Recording in progress.
Disclaimer. The information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
There is a huge burden on you who became satellites. Try to understand that with what happened in Linz this week, and with the first test, we have set a precedence for the whole change of the structure. Your child cries, he doesn't talk. You reach his soul, you understand where the pain is. You have a mentally handicapped child. You want to know how you can bring the change. You reach the soul. Does the physicality matter? Those of you who are beautiful people will come to understand, to see all the members of the family within the one physical structure. We shall see from what we saw this week, end of what I call, or the beginning to an end of the knowledge of what we build and nourished as prisons. We see an end to addiction. We see an end to criminality, and we see an end to kingship. We see the beginning of how we transmute people's soul, elevate them, nourish them, and like a dream you had, return back to them. What we saw this week in Linz, without a doubt, will bring massive changes to many of us. And as a head of the Keshe Foundation, and responsible for setting up the One Race Planet, as I have agreed before I arrive here, will endeavor to bring that as fast as possible to be applicable, that it brings a positive change. The world is going through a position of mayhem, Not knowing uncertainty, and this uncertainty is creating more problems in the coming months and years, and we are here to use it to change the course of peace. We are not standing for elections, we are not standing to interfere with powers. We elevate the soul of the man in a very massive way. Now there are physical systems, and it can be shown, and it will be developed for all levels of understanding. This process of transmutation of the soul and transmutation of the soul of physicality, which is confirmed this week, will bring us many, many changes. Will bring us amazing amount of changes. I hope, as human race, as knowledge seekers, you understand what you have entered into and what you have brought to be, and what is about to come, and how much change it will come and bring for all of us.
Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to the 80th public meeting for testimonials here on Monday, July 10th, 2023. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Kremen and I'll be host today, along with Mark as co-host. Thank you, Mark, once again for being here, and I think we're ready to launch into today's public meeting for testimonials, which occurs once every month on the second Monday of the month, and we invite people from all over the world to present their testimonials of the plasma technology, and that's the idea of this show. So we do have a number of testimonials lined up here, and we're welcoming any live testimonials that people can give right here in the moment as well. Our background image was courtesy of Gianni from Romania, and he's had outstanding success in the field of plasma technology, so to speak, In this case, literally working with fields, very large fields of, say, 300 hectares of barley or wheat, and the farmers are very happy, and they're having great results, and the neighbors are wondering how they did it without fertilizers and herbicides and pesticides and all that kind of thing. So, very interesting
Right.
work.
These are no backyard gardens. I think this is a beautiful scientific test, what's been shown and documented so far, and there's more to come, as I understand it. Isn't the harvest just around the corner or happening now?
Yes, indeed. Maybe I'll show one of Johnny's videos here. It's a minute of one of the fields. This is I believe this is the barley field. And
And of course, one of the most amazing things, I don't think it's ever been shown before, was the increase by using this technology. And again, Mr. Keshe said this is obsolete, but it's just amazing that the percentage per gram of protein was increased. And apparently, Gianni already has some university people that are ready to look at this aspect of it. But
well,
the harvest,
that's a big one, because that's how they judge the quality, basically. How much protein do you get out of the plant, and that seems to go up, and that's the really the predominant factor in many ways.
and of course, the whole idea of the soul elevation through plasmatic food, in a way, grown all naturally just with the fields. And this is something we haven't understood. No runoff from this farm this year. And for the English speakers, did you say 300 hectares, Rick, or 7?
One was 300, one was 150, and I think there were other patches as well.
And I think I looked it up. It's like 2.4 acres per hectare. So again, these are no small patches.
I mean, you can see almost what looks to be to the horizon here, but at least to that tree line way in the distance there.
Another beautiful aspect of this is I'm sure the farmer's been delighted and elevated since the growing season started, right? With his amount of dollars he had to use for inputs. I think Gianni said it was only $100 or $200 worth of inputs versus probably the tens of thousands or even hundreds of, I don't know, price structure in the area, but greatly reduced.
Oh, I would think easily hundreds of thousands if you were paying for fertilizer, pesticides, herbicides, and all the rest of it that goes with normally growing a grain crop. Like in Canada, they would use all whatever resources they have available, unless it was organic, in which case they have to abide by certain other rules. But generally speaking, for the regular wheat and canola and other products, they go through the regular routine of, if you use our seed, then you have to use our fertilizer, so you have to use our pesticides, and you have to use our herbicides in order to kill the plant at the end, meaning Roundup and glyphosate. That's how they ripen the plant, supposedly, in a lot of countries, is they kill it with an herbicide at the end of its life cycle, so they can harvest it before it gets moldy in the rain and so on. It's a very bizarre idea, I think, but that's...
They want to make sure it's really dead.
Yeah.
What they get.
We wouldn't want to give people live
But
food.
similar structure, Gianni was saying about the farmer's ability to apply for certain types of loans with if they didn't use the accepted inputs, let's say. They would limit their ability to draw from the government for
Yes.
farm loans.
Yep.
But I think the harvest is going to be tremendous. And then the number of plasma, I think he used about, what did he say, 250 kilograms per hectare? And they're going to be saving, obviously, a percentage of these seeds. So this project is going to spread nicely, I would think. The seeds will
Yeah,
go into other areas. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, to give away the seeds, which is, and we're not talking about a handful of seeds or something either. We're talking about big barrels full of seeds and big bins full of seeds. I've never seen so many seeds as the videos we saw before with that. You see, there's
Right.
a.
And oh, sorry, go ahead,
Oh,
Rick.
go ahead. I was just going to
No,
get another video lined up here.
yeah, and I did send you a couple of them in Telegram, but the emotion, not that this farm probably has a lot of workers with all the equipment that they have, you don't need too many people, but the emotion and the balance of coworkers and between the owner and the people he's working with and the whole environment apparently has changed. Just in the excitement, I was thinking, yeah, the farmer was like the electron and the field was the proton, and he just looking at these pictures are quite interesting. And again, the weeds being not growing in the way they normally would, and there was something special, I think, that was applied there.
Yeah, I believe this is
Here's beyond
the wheat
now.
field here.
Sorry, I didn't
Good.
check that. So perhaps, and this is a beautiful testimonial. I mean, as I said, this is one of the larger we've seen the vineyards in France grown plasmatically, which was a very positive experience. We've seen Mr. Keshe in China doing some sort of things and larger scale. And this is one of the largest projects I think I've seen a knowledge seeker do myself. Now, maybe there's more in the background that we're not aware of. As Mr. Keshe said, they do have a lot of other testing going on through certain channels. But in public, this is a beautiful work. And here's Gianni.
Hi, Gianni, and welcome. I wonder he may need some time before
Yes,
he's ready.
Translator. I think he usually comes with his own translator.
Hi, Rick.
Hi,
Mark.
Gianni.
Oh, Gianni.
Please, in 1 hour.
Okay. Yep. Great. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay.
But
Well,
we still
this is just
you
the
can-
teaser then to
an appetizer.
an
Sure.
appetizer. There you go.
We can still enjoy the elevation. So as I was saying, I think the farmer is actually feeding back to his own field because he's so excited about it. He's never seen it before. And as you said, Rick, the other farmers in the area are making observations. I guess there was a little bit of a dry spell and they didn't have the others didn't have the exact, what they were looking for, production. But this
That's
field
right.
is,
Yeah, that's right. That was mentioned, wasn't it? And
yes, it was.
they said they had no trouble with the drought or dry spell in this field, apparently.
And so the farmers were making observations. What have you done? Your field doesn't look like. So this is a shining example of the plasma technology. And we thank Gianni for sharing with all of us. I was thinking of that picture earlier. That is a postcard, isn't it?
That's a good one. That would have been a good one, actually, for today's background image.
Excellent, yeah.
Maybe I'll use it in the Knowledge Seekers workshop or something. What do they say about a farmer outstanding in their field? It's a it's a little joke. Gianni is definitely a farmer who's outstanding in his field. Outstanding in the field of plasma technology and outstanding in the field, literally, of plasma plants.
And again, without the fertilizers, so the farmer is just, I'm sure he's very elevated. That's one of the biggest problems when you start your farming. And I know, Mr. Keshe, this is the main reason in India the farmer commits suicide. The number one reason is because they can't really make it with all the inputs between the seeds and the fertilizers and the other things that they have to do. They're starting out almost like working for the company store, if you know what I mean, Rick.
Same in China. It's actually pretty much the same in the U.S. and so on. Everywhere where that program is instigated, because there's so much pressure, financial pressure, and you could literally lose your farm in any particular year if you don't make the right decisions and go along with the program or whatever. It's like you were saying, it's attached in so many different levels that they more or less force you into a particular way of doing things.
So this is an elevation for the entire farm community, isn't it? Once they realize what they have in their hand, as Mr. Keshe said about the electronics companies, and once they understand this net, it's going to make a huge change in so many things.
Wait till they try the bread.
Exactly.
The product itself, the barley or the wheat, and perhaps if they aren't convinced by then that this is an elevated process, then perhaps just the partaking of the food, which will be, higher protein, better quality, better tasting, not have all the additives and so on.
After effects, yeah.
We're talking about the best of the best here, possibly the very best in the world of this particular product.
And of course, another benefit was the shorter growing seasons. Maybe you want to ask Gianni about that later. I think he said they had put in another corn crop and they were advised not to do it because there wasn't enough time, but yet it seemed to grow it. I don't know the story, so I don't want to say it wrong, but it did produce, as far as I understand, in a shorter time. And that was another advantage where you could have 2 growing seasons on your plots. Perhaps you could have 3 or more with this technology.
Exactly.
3 harvests versus 2 harvests. The farmer should be.
And even if you only get 1 harvest, if it takes a week or 2 less than the regular, all the other years you've done it, well, maybe you could take a vacation, for God's sakes. Oh, the harvest is in 2 weeks early this year. What are we going to do? Let's take some time off and do something different. The farmers don't often take a lot of time off, so.
I remember Mr. Keshe sharing that story in China where I guess the birds knew it was time for harvest or whatever, and they were gathering, but it wasn't exactly time and they had gorged themselves, I guess, for days or weeks. And after all of the everything else, there was still more than, I don't know, double, triple or the expected amount, something like that, or the usual harvest.
Mm-hmm.
Pests can cause a lot of damage, and the foundation has technology for that as well. I mean, actual things that fly like locusts are probably grasshoppers and things. I know there was a big swarm heading towards Utah.
Well, the thing is, perhaps your harvest may attract birds, and you may not have the facilities to scare away the birds, as some of the things have with noise and poisons or whatever they use to make sure that birds don't come around. Perhaps if the birds come around, then you won't have the bugs and other things that might, deter the crop. So birds may both, they may eat some of the crop, but they may also take care of the bug population and other, they may be fertilizing the crop as well while they're doing their thing. So.
Right, and you may want to ask Gianni about weeding as well. As he said, the weeds, that was when we had a little backyard garden, that was the one job I didn't like doing, hoeing and pulling the weeds out. And apparently he's either made a Gantz of the weeds from previous years and applied it. I'm not sure exactly how he did it, but even the farmer was amazed at as well. They should have grown as strong as the wheat, but they didn't. They stayed at a...
Yeah, this is a very strange anomaly that...
another phenomenon, yes.
We need to sort of look at. Johnny's kind of explained that before, but I think we need to look at it again. And why is it that the wheat grows, but not the all the other weeds? Because they should be growing double and triple what they normally grow as well. So what is it that suppresses the weeds but allows the grains to grow? And he mentioned something about intention, but surely there must be more to it than one's intention to
maybe they received enough energy at a smaller structure that they didn't have to extend their structure, or maybe they had more of an accommodation of the others. You know how we don't know exactly how the plasma can work in the background. And he put his intentions into that, I think, as well. Again, embedding energies.
Well, we'll find out more about that in the next hour. Okay, well, perhaps we should move it along. We don't want to blow everything for Johnny's show here.
Right.
So let's appeal to our audience here today. Is there anybody who would like to present something or just talk about their experience with the plasma technology, something that may have happened in the last month since our last meeting, and that might be of interest to our greater audience out in the world here today?
Can you start the drum roll, Rick?
I'm not hearing the click of opening microphones. I hear the sound of one hand clapping. Oh,
hello,
okay.
Rick.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Dean, you're always good for a testimonial.
Hi, Rick. If you look on Telegram, I've sent you an image. I can do a testimonial for the knee GANs that I've been using.
Oh, great.
I'd love to hear that too. That's one of my wishes, to build up my knees. And I know Mr. Keshe, with that knee GANs, it was able to... Did he say rebuild, Dean? Is that the idea of this process, which these things have never been rebuilt before?
Yeah, according to what Mr. Keshe said, and the labels on the actual, what we've been discussing and what we've come to know through the teachings and what Mr. Keshe has given, that it will actually regrow the ligaments and the slightly, I suppose, the muscles and things that are around the actual item of the knee. So anything that's conducive with the knee and many other joints are very, very complicated, as we know, and in a structure of the ligaments and the muscles and tendons and everything that's around them. And I've said this before, I had a knee injury, and from playing soccer, football,
Mhm.
and I took I don't know what it's called. I still haven't looked into it. I should have. But there's a bit of fluid, sort of like substance that is between the knee and the actual joint itself. And this sort of, when I was playing football, someone tackled me, and this sort of popped out as I
I
was
had
sort of
the
pulling away.
exact same thing happen to me when I was very
Yeah.
young. Yep, and it's been
Okay.
trouble
Okay.
through my whole life basically with that. Yep, I can
Yeah,
identify.
and when I was younger and fit and very, and very athletic and had lots more muscle, then at the time I didn't get it seen to, and then I just left it and just built the muscle up around it. And of course, when I was younger and fit, as I said, that was all possible and not a problem. I managed to overcome it through being very physical. Now that later on in life, and the years have passed, if I don't exercise it very regularly, I was starting to have problems walking up the stairs where the knee would become very painful. And when you start to just you notice it yourself, and then I couldn't put a lot of weight on it and things. So Mr. Kesh came up with this knee GANs that is supposed to rebuild the knee, the structure of the knee, the ligaments and tendons and everything else. And so I started to apply this. A couple of months ago now, maybe a month and a half ago or so ago. And first of all, when I first used it, I reported on this to you guys. I had this slight sensation of a reconnection between the neural, the actual neurological conditions of the brain and the actual down my neck into my leg. I actually felt like when I first applied the GANs, a connection. I had a slight like a twitch in the back of my neck, and I knew exactly when I did it that it was the brain reconnecting this neurological pathway to the knee. So you could also say that there's like an elevation of the knee. And since then, I applied the GANs on a regular basis after doing a slight test. So you have to do a test in the middle of your arm for with the GANs just to make sure that you don't have an allergic reaction to it. I did this for 24 hours and then found that I didn't have an allergic reaction. So then I applied the GANs itself, or I should say, you make the GAN, you tip the GANs into a bottle, and you in a certain quantity, and then you add water to it. You shake the bottle and let it settle to the bottom. So the bottle you're seeing in the middle here is basically the GANs itself. I've just shaken this just to show you some of the GANs particles. And then on the left-hand side, you see the brown jar there. There's a spray jar. That is the GANs itself with it settled down. That's the plasma water. So I'm using just the plasma water. And then on the far left-hand side, you see the syringe that I've pulled out of the main middle GANs next to the knee GANs, and and put into this brown bottle. And then you see the bandage then that I would have sprayed and put on my knee, and I would have created a flow to initiate the plasma by applying 2 or 3 sprays to the front of the knee where the most of the damage was, but also with these conditions, as we know, there's always another position, and this was to the back of my knee. So I sprayed once to the back of the knee, and this is creating that plasmatic flow. I applied this for 7 days, respraying every day, maybe once a day, maybe twice a day sometimes, to begin with. And then it says to assess the condition. So I then stopped for 7 days. I didn't apply anything. I just kept using, obviously walking and using the knee as I would do normally, and then assessed if I needed to reapply. For myself, I felt that I needed to reapply, so I did this again for the after the initial waiting for 7 days, the rest period, then I resprayed again for 7 days. And I did this 2 or 3 times, and now I've since been feeling most of the time I don't feel my knee at all now. And I know I've felt it many times where the knee is physically getting stronger. Is the knee doesn't it doesn't give me the same problems. When I used to walk up the stairs, I used to have a very sharp pain sometimes, and that doesn't happen now. There is still sometimes a slight dull pain. However, I know this is over a period of time as the knee is readjusting and the ligaments and the cartilages and everything else is regrowing, that it's resetting itself. And I also felt it when I did it, that the back of the knee is also strengthening itself as well. So the whole knee structure is changing. And I can, as a testimony, I can absolutely say that the knee GANs has transformed my knee from having to go to surgery, when obviously I did not do that. So no surgeon has gone in and actually cut open my knee or done anything like that. This is literally through spraying some plasmatic water. The GANs is applying them onto a bandage and then applying it onto my knee. And I can happily say that my knee is feeling much stronger and much better. And it's an ongoing process. There's still more to do, but the trouble that I had for many years it's mostly gone away. So it's for me it's a total success. It's given me back my ability to go on walks and walk up mountains and things like this, and do other things that I started to struggle with, and it's made a big difference. So, and if it can do that for me, then there's many sports people out there and many other people with many conditions where if you could apply this without having to go to the position of actually cutting a joint open, then I think this will be of a great benefit to many people to follow. So there's my testimonial. Hopefully, I don't know if there's any questions, Mark or Rick, anybody wants to answer, but that was it. I mean, it's a very good product, and Mr. Keshe made it specifically because he made this as a small batch of this knee GANs, and I think he made 1 or 2 batches, and it's definitely a gift to humanity, because it's not just human beings. I know I've been in contact with some animals recently on many different levels, dogs and horses and all sorts of things, animals, all sorts of created creatures. And I know that many people find this beneficial to be able to use this with the animals, where you cannot, you can't really, you either have to do a direct operation, or you have to apply, certain conditions, and big bandages and things. Whereas this is a very simple procedure that you can do that most of the animals wouldn't even notice that they are wearing a bandage. Or I'm actually, after a period of time, I can say this, I did actually apply some of the GANs itself directly onto the knee, when I say directly onto the knee, I put it onto like a trouser leg. So I know this would be possible for the animals, so that they would gain relief from any sort of positions that that they're suffering from. And as I said, with human beings, it would be the same thing. Whether it's a knee or an elbow joint, you think of the amount of sports that people play, and you name any sport that you don't get a direct injury from a strain, or to a condition where you move in a sudden direction and the limb hasn't had time to readjust, or you have something where you might create a condition where you tear it. Then this is, for me, this is a wonderful addition to the knowledge of humanity, for us to be able to experience this new technology, the technology that's been brought forward to help and to bring balance back to the body in a most beautiful way, in a very simple way, because it's literally, once you've had the GANs and you've actually put it into the small containers and things, to the actual milliliters that are specified on the side of the GANs, jar, the plastic jar that that it comes in, then it's a very simple procedure, and it's for anybody to experience. So I can only say that for me, it's worked wonders. It's been quite a miraculous situation for me. Okay, Rick, I'll leave it there.
Well, that's really excellent, Dean. Very good news.
Yeah, Rick, if you can find some, if you still have a problem with any of your joints or your knee, I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely done exactly what Mr. Keshe said it would done. It's definitely done this.
Right.
And
And we
quite
do have
incredible.
more joints than we think we have. When you total them all up, there's quite a number of those. So this can be, and again, this can be even shared with others, as I understand it. This is not an individual use product. You can share the water with others, couldn't you, Dean?
Yeah, I've done this. I've done this. I've shared it with some animals. I've shared it with people,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I mean, because there's enough of the actual liquid in there for you to be actually to share it with others, and that's the whole point of this, the ethos of the foundation, and being present. That when you start sharing, you receive more. So that's part of the package and the understanding of being, being ready to understand that we're here to give to others and to help people, and everybody else, and all the souls present, not just human beings, but all the beautiful animals and all that we have around us as well, all the souls that are present.
And Dean, did you mention that Mr. Keshe made this personally with his own hand?
Yeah, well, if I didn't mention it, I think I did last time. Yeah, Mr. Keshe definitely made this himself. So this is a very, very unique, special product that Mr. Keshe has put his own intentions and thoughts into. And when Mr. Keshe puts his intentions to something, as we know, then very beautiful things tend to materialize and to come about through the condition that Mr. Keshe knows how to use these ganses and everything in a certain way that will benefit many, many. And I always remember that I was in the Experience Centre and I actually mentioned to Mr. Keshe that I had a problem with my knee, and I think and then within a very short period of time, this knee gans, Mr. Keshe, this came on, and Mr. Keshe said there's a knee gan. So I thank Mr. Keshe for doing that, because when he does it for one, then it gets done for everybody. Really, it's for the rest of the world to share and for everybody to benefit from. And as you can imagine, this one application given to by Mr. Keshe to help one person then opens up to help the whole of humanity and all the created creatures. It's a huge thing, just this one thing alone. And everything we have within the foundation does this. It opens up so many different doors, pathways, feel strengths, everything you can think of, elevation of the soul, and benefiting the conditions, of being present in a physicality when we have certain conditions that cause us, pain or structures where we find it difficult to move. And this is a wonderful product with the intention of Mr. Keshe to give to everybody. And this is,
Right.
as we know, this is the knowledge of the foundation. That's exactly what it's all about. Is
And
bringing it forward small and then letting it open up into a very large plasma. Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
no, he said he's the only one that knows how to make this. No one else could create this specific GANs. And I just had a synchronization when you said application, and I know Mr. Keshe said he was only going to make a couple of lots of this. When you said application, I was thinking, gee, couldn't we put this in an app? So right at the same time you were saying application, I was thinking, because I mean, only 2 lots he said he was going to make. And maybe this can get, again, you want knee problems settled remotely, you go to channel 30. Is this a possibility, Dean?
Yeah, well, we know this is the next stage on. So once you have this this particular GANs, and then you put it into the next stage on where you would put the GANs in a position that can then be the plasma is opened up for the next stage of the development of the technology, where it is then delivered through wireless communications or wired communications over a satellite system or a network of like the internet or something, and then you tap into it, and then, as you said, with an application, so from a centralized point, a centralized core, you have the actual GANs itself put in a position, and then from that is then able to sustain, feed, elevate, bring a condition for everybody to tap into. So from one hydrogen atom, it can then feed a universe. So effectively, once you have it produced in once, then everybody, every soul that has a condition of imbalance can receive the balance they require from this this beautiful product that Mr. Keshe has brought forward, to my understanding, Mark.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's going. This is what Mr. Keshe said. In the future, this technology, again, remotely delivered through an app in some way, in some special way.
It is. I can also say that I've been part of another trial, and so I've started to experience being how can I say, using the headphones and tapping into the systems that were based. They have been based in Linz. I think they're about to move. However, from a centralized position of these reactors, it doesn't matter where they're placed physically, and so you can receive the energy, that you require to bring yourself back to balance. And I've been experiencing this in a trial situation, not just for this knee. This is something else. For something else, I have a condition in my body, and that will, I'll, explain in the weeks and months to follow. But yeah, it's a wonderful experience, and it's very simple. Being able to literally sit in the comfort of your own home, put on some headphones, and receive an energy transfer to bring your body back to balance in any body part that you wish it to be, that is about to be released by the foundation in an upcoming trial that is open to everybody. And we can all experience this. And it's, as I said, you just sit back, you listen to the instructions given, relax, and let the soul and the interactions of the energies that are being given through these systems for you to receive, to bring your body back to balance. What could be more simple and beautiful than that, to bring a lot of conditions of mankind and others to balance.
I was going to ask you, Dean, where did you get that original photograph Rick was showing? That's a magazine quality. I'm thinking you may have taken it, being in that sort of field, so to speak.
Yeah, no, that's just me being a photographer, an old photographer. Old photographers, we just go out of focus gradually. That's all.
Yeah, that's magazine quality. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's, to be honest, that's if you saw the setup in my apartment, on a glass table with a window in the background, and then knowing some things, it's just, it's like anything to do with knowledge. Once you know how to do something, you can do things. So, but that is that is the NEGANs. Is a beautiful product that Mr. Keshe brought forward.
Now, I see in the center bottle there, you're allowing the material to settle. Is that correct?
That's good. To be honest, Mark, what I did there, just to give it, as a photographer, I tried to give it to give it a little bit of excitement. So I've actually shaken the GANs. You see the GANs at the bottom of the jar there, at the very bottom. I've turned the bottle upside down and just let the GANs settle down, just so you could see the particles. But the actual GANs that's in the brown jar is just the plasma water, which would be above the GANs, gas in a nano solid state. And you would just take the plasma water, which is then put into this brown bottle. And then that brown bottle, I then spray the bandage with, as I said, with the plasma water. And that's it's as simple as that. Really
And
is.
typically, how long would you allow this to settle down?
It's literally taking for it to settle right down. It's probably taking 5-10 minutes, if that. But if people are worried about this, then they could leave it for an hour or 2 hours, and it would be completely settled, and then you could just pull off the top of the water.
It's a beautiful photograph.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's just to say thank you to Mr. Keshe and the foundation for everything that they do for humanity. And it's so that we can, I'm going to start producing much more of these so that we can start, giving the knowledge and sharing the knowledge like all the knowledge seekers do. They all give whatever they have, what they can. And this is my contribution at the moment, and it will be ongoing. So, yeah.
It's a win-win situation. That's what's happening, I think. In all of this, the structure is changing slowly at first. But
it's Mark, when you actually, it's when you realize what is being offered and what's being given, then all the resistance to it starts to fade away gradually when you realize what's on the table. I mean, this one product alone, when you think of the implications of what it could actually do for many souls in physicality that suffering in this very moment, and the fact that you could apply something as simple as this plasma water to a bandage and apply it in this instant, and then the next stage on, as we know, that's already taken position, is where you go into, you put some headphones on, and you literally then receive this same GANs through an energy transfer over a mobile phone. And it's the same energy, just delivered in a different way. This is the technology of the foundation and what's being delivered and what's being brought forward for everybody. So it has huge implications, and this is just one product that Mr. Keshe has brought forward. And then when you apply that to all the products, and Mr. Keshe said that there's going to be 20 to 30, no, 2 to 3,000.
Yeah, no, I thought it was 20 to 30. I had heard. Rick, is that a confirmation? In the future, again.
In the future, yeah.
Slowly at first, and again, more and more into every aspect of our lives, in a way.
Yeah.
As long as we're here in the matter state.
It's a simple application. I mean, I've been in contact with, as I said, lots of people that are spraying the GANS waters at the moment, and animals that have been suffering, and just spraying them with some different GANSes to this one, obviously. The 4 main GANSes that the foundation teaches and distributes, and gives everybody the knowledge to produce for themselves. And they have so much diverse applications once you learn to actually use them. And they have huge applications, as all the knowledge seekers have been, witnessing personally and sharing the knowledge on a regular basis. And once humanity catches up to what's really on the table here, it's going to be a bit of I don't know what right tidal wave that's going to be coming towards the foundation. That's for sure.
Well, this is what this is what the Chinese are really good at, is duplicating and improving, making little improvements and replicating products and so on, and coming up with a lot of diversity. I mean, you can buy virtually anything in any color you want nowadays on the internet, and people are at the other end who are creators and engineers and so on, and plastics engineers and whatnot, that create new molds and new designs, and they're always doing that. Now you can imagine that mentality combined with the blessings of the government toward the plasma technology, and the education of the people going on at the same time. And people are going to get really excited. The engineers will get excited and want to create new versions and new ways of doing things. And I think we're going to see a virtual flood of new products and even not just products, but new ways of doing things as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Rick. That's I look forward to that. Don't we all look forward to that? When all this the innovation, when people start getting creative, and when they realize what's, as we said earlier, what they realize what this is and the capabilities, and then it's applied by the other souls who then start getting, to use it and be creative in their thoughts and intentions,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's going to open up exponentially. It's just gonna grow and grow and grow. We know plasma. Once you open up a plasma, then it turns into a universe, and this is an ongoing process that's already started. So yeah, we're just catching up now.
And you could say, well, that's just all, physicality stuff in a way, all these products and whatnot. But the products are just the result of the whole process. They're sort of the side result of the process of transmutation and transformation of the entire planet, and probably at least this sector of the universe, if not the whole universe. At this time, there's an upgrade going on, and a lot of people are waking up, and it's in spite of all the chaos going on, there's actually a lot of potential and wonderful results that can happen. But it's all based on not just the ideas, but the emotion and the elevation that comes from the plasma technology. And that's the invisible part that's already come into the planet, basically. And the products and everything else is just a side effect of the trickle down effect of that energy coming into the planet.
100%, Rick. And it's the because with this particular product and everything we're talking about, it's the matter state of the physicality, but we're talking on the plasmatic condition of the soul, which is unlimited. And so Mr. Keshe is tapping into universal knowledge, and then bringing this knowledge back into into a condition of physicality, for people then to receive well-being and balance in their body. That then gives them once you get the balance back, then you start getting the elevation as well. And so it's a continuous process that starts to open up. And these ganses, that reminds me, when I've been making food ganses, and I've made some GANs of a particular plant recently, which was a very beautiful plant that I know has very special properties. And this plant, I've made a GANs of it. And so the energy of it, then in the same process as you see here now, this could be placed within the units, and then everybody can receive the plasma of this plant. That means that we don't have to take its physicality any longer. We can receive the energy of it without having to take the physicality, and that's a different energy transfer to what human beings are used to. But this is the next stage, and this is the field transfer, that people are receiving the field transfer of the GANs from this knee GANs. That is, they're feeling the energy of it go through into the knee. That's an energy transfer. And the next stage on is, like we said, is when you're wearing the headphones, and you're going to receive it in a different way, but it's still an energy field transfer. And this is the big new condition that is present, that's always been present, but we're now aware of it, and we can utilize the teachings and the knowledge that Mr. Keshe has passed down to all the knowledge seekers, so they can, as they're already doing, is sharing this knowledge with as many souls that understand the capabilities and the possibilities of what plasma really is, which is unlimited, really. Sorry.
Yes,
Would
well,
anybody
well
come
said.
in? Well said, yeah, I'll let someone cut. Yeah, I've said quite a lot there. So
And of course, if
I've
you
got some more. I've,
this GANs, theoretically, you could pass this on forever. This is the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it?
Well,
yeah,
that's true,
generation.
Mark. That's a good point. I
Yeah.
mean, what is the limit to giving when it comes to this kind of technology? You look at the life of Mr. Keshe and all that he gives constantly, and what are the limits to that? What has he, brought to our attention and to our minds? Are there any limits in a way? As he said, he emphasized that to me many years ago when he said, "There's as many types of reactors as there are stars in the universe." And it just blew me away. I just went, whoa, that's kind of heavy. And the more I thought about it, the more it made sense, because if someone makes a reactor, that's their particular version of a reactor, and someone else makes one, it's going to be different. And if someone makes 10 reactors or 100 or 1,000, each one a little different, and someone else has theirs, and there's billions of people on the planet, and there's untold number of beings out in the universe, and who knows how many reactors are going on simultaneously and in the future, and all the possibilities. And it's mind-blowing, and it's hard in a way, because when we're confronted with that, it means like, well, my crummy little reactor is going to be just one of 10 million trillion billion different iterations out there, and no matter what I do, it's just going to be almost insignificant in a way. You can never get the ultimate reactor, because there is no such thing. It's always a work in progress, you could say. So
And it's
yeah,
uh,
go ahead.
no, it's a unique reactor, and you need the diversification of fields, I think, to continue on the creation process.
Well,
And
that's
since
the thing, yes, and the creation process. So, is that creation process is part of manifesting things in the physicality, basically. So we have that going on, but we also have at the same time this emphasis on not focusing on the physicality, but on the fields, on the feeling of the fields. And the way the fields interact, and all of that kind of thing is what we're to focus on. So
right,
the
uh,
non-manifest, the non-phenomenal world.
has Mr. Keshe ever offered a GANs that he's made in the public domain? I think this will appreciate greatly over time, perhaps. And we've seen what Gianni does with the Ganses and things and making them. And I think Gianni went to Linz, and he said Mr. Keshe gave him some Gans. I don't know if he explained exactly why, but he said the energy, he never felt such an interaction when he held the Gans in his hand, comparatively to what he was making. So this
And
is
yeah.
quite a unique product. Are you aware of any GANs that Mr. Keshe made personally that he's offered in the public domain?
I don't I don't know if you're speaking to Rick, but there's been
Either or.
I'm not aware of any other that Mr. Keshe has done personally. So I think this is a very unique product, gift, I should say. We say a product is a gift. It's Mr. Keshe's intentions that is given back to humanity, and it's not just humanity. As I said, it's all the creatures created. So it's giving back to all the souls present, for them to receive, and it's a very big gift. This one application is a very big gift.
Right. And as I was saying, how many of these joints do we actually have in our body? Not that I want Rick to go to his favorite source to pull it up, but it must be 30 or 40 between the toes, and each one has three, and if you add all those up, it's quite a high number. And the ability to have it rebuilt, not remotely so much, that'll come in the future, is just, again, this is the science of creation, where the science meets the soul of the man in a way. We don't fully understand it, but this is the understanding of where we are now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful time to be present in. Rick, just so you know, I've sent you some images as well, of a knowledge seeker that burnt themselves with some very hot liquid. It was a soup, and they went to, obviously I heard about it afterwards, but there's a picture from image one from day one, and then day two and day three, and I think on day two they started using plasma water, and sprayed it onto the bandage. And they'd gone to the doctor, and the doctor had already applied some, I think it was some cream or something, and applied it onto the bandage. And you'll see if you show it, you'll see the marks on the skin from the bandage. And then they started using the plasma waters, and they are going to report back to me. This is I haven't got a full report yet, so I can't give it to you totally. However, as you can see, the skin was burned quite badly in the first instance, and then day two, they started applying plasma water, and so far, from what I've heard, they said it's feeling much better, and is healing quite nicely. And this was literally by spraying plasma water directly onto onto the bandage that is wrapped around the wound. So as you can see, that the one on the left is day one, the one in the middle is day two, when they started applying, and then day three, you can see on the right hand side, is when they started applying the plasma water. And I'm going to be very interested to see how this progresses, and whether it leaves any marks or scars, or whether the plasma will, once it's used a lot, it will start to bring a condition back to the skin that you won't see it. The plasma water also contained amino acids, which, as we know, is a direct link to many of the conditions that we have as a human being on planet Earth, as it is with all the animals and all the vegetation. We all have this direct link through amino acids, and the plasma water is applied. And as I said, when I've got a fuller report, I will come back and let you know, and hopefully show you some pictures with this lady's testimony to show what happened. But as you can see, these things happened. I think this was where she was cooking some soup, some very hot soup, and I think a child, from what I was told, started to drag her arm or something, and she poured the liquid on top of herself. And obviously then she couldn't react quick enough, and then you can see the condition that it's left. And I know a lot of people have been through horrendous situations with burns, as we know, and with plasma water and amino acid, you can change the condition of the skin very, very quickly. And Mr. Keshe has said this, that you can regrow the layers of the skin and bring them back to balance very, very quickly. And Mr. Keshe has done this in many instances. So this hopefully I will, when I get, as I say, a full documented explanation from the lady, then I'll be able to share it further. But at the moment, this is all I know, and so when I receive that, I can report back. Any questions on that, Mark or Rick?
Well, definitely the plasma water is great for burns and bites and things like that. It is like, I call it a spray on skin. And if you have skin afflictions, rashes and that kind of thing, the CO2 and ZNO GANS water is it's like a miracle in a jar, and you can spray that on. Spray the water, not the GANS itself, although the GANS doesn't seem to be harmful, but it's not recommended to spray GANS or ingest GANS, just the water or plasma water of the GANS. And it is just amazing. I would highly recommend it. For myself personally, I've gone through a bit of a trauma the last week or so with I hurt my thumb in my profession of mechanic, and I managed to crush it pretty good. And it was okay for a couple of days, and then it started swelling up and turning black and blue and whatnot, and had a lot of pressure and a lot of swelling. So I decided to use a poultice on it to draw out the swelling and infection and so on that was going on. I didn't go to the hospital or have it x-rayed. I'm quite sure it's broken, but I'm dealing with it in my own way. So I do recommend people do go to hospitals to have x-rays and that kind of thing normally. But for my own experimentation, which is what I usually do with my own afflictions, is to take care of them in some kind of way by myself, I put like a cotton gauze around the thumb and wrapped tape around that, and then I use a combination of Gans water and Epsom salt, and I pour that onto the bandage and allow that to soak into the wound area. So that's been going really well, and the swelling's come down considerably, and the pain's going away, and it's the process that I'm using seems to be working. I've used Epsom salt in the past, and it is quite amazing on its own, but the combination of the salts plus the salt from, you can use some of the salt water from the Gans water as well, and the Gans water is pretty amazing in its healing capability. It's great for pulling out toxins and poisons and stuff.
Gee, I know Mr. Keshe had mentioned that in the future in the sports arena and probably other places, that people who break fingers or legs, they could return within before the end of the match or the game. So we need this technology to come out in a much bigger way.
Also, for people with amputations to regrow a limb or a finger or something like that, it may be possible with this kind of technology using a poultice where it's wet all the time. Mr. Keshe mentioned that it can be done under special circumstances, but it's usually difficult because you have to keep the area wet all the time, and you have to make sure it has the right magnetic and so on criteria to, he sets it up so that the possibilities are there to be able to actually extend the nerves, extend the growth of the bone, and so on, encourage that calcium glands and whatnot.
Yeah, I did send you the testimonial about the technology growing teeth. There were some pictures shown. I think the Brazilians, it's Instagram. I'd love to see, they've been mentioning these cluster bombs, and they're still destroying people's limbs and children picking them up after decades and everything else. I'd love to see a fund set up that anyone who wanted to grow a limb, for whatever reason, but especially this intentional reason of taking people's parts off their body permanently and having no access in a life of holding a bowl with a beggar. A fund should be set up so that they can avail themselves to the app or to the technology. That's my wish. Just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Mark. And I'm present with your wish for that, definitely. Very much so.
I know I burned myself as well, very slightly, maybe a little bit more than a sunburn. I was wearing some skins, pouring some boiling water into a container, and it just sort of tilted, and I hit my leg, and sure enough, I think I sprayed, and this was the first time I used it for a burn, but 2 or 3 times, and one of them, I had 2 little round spots, not round, but some sort of shape there, the way the water splashed. And one disappeared quite quickly, and the other one lasted a little longer, but they're both gone. But again, it was probably a little more than a red sunburn. Not as severe as what you're showing here.
Yeah, what's I find intriguing, Mark, is with the plasma waters, is that I've had people reporting to me that I've been sharing the waters with, that they've had certain little things on their face or something that's been there for a long time, a little rash or a little bump or something, and they spray it with some plasma water, and then within a few days they're saying it's gone. And so once people start to use it, on themselves or on others, they are experiencing, as we know, the knowledge seekers know this, and that we're trying to get this knowledge in this present moment, so everybody can start to experience this. It's the little things, the little irritations, the little things that are constantly with us, that once they disappear, then you start to become more balanced, and the emotions settle down. And then when the emotions settle down, you start to have this wonderful condition of peace inside yourself that then spreads out around the environment that's around you. And that's whether you are a human being, a cat, a dog, a fish, or whether you're a vertical friend. It creates a condition that harmonizes and brings beauty to everything around us, which is what plasma is, bringing balance. Sorry, Rick, go on, carry on. I'll let you.
Okay,
This
so
wasn't the one.
we've
This
got,
wasn't,
pardon?
this wasn't the one. It was about being a volunteer. It was created by the Brazilian team, and Alex did a voiceover on it. I sent you two of them.
The YouTube video, you mean?
Okay, if that's where it is. Yeah.
Yeah, let me get it off YouTube so we don't have advertising coming in.
Okay. But again, it's just another demonstration of something that science says can't be done. A tooth. Dentists have been wishing for a solution for teeth in many instances. Of course, many of them probably don't, because that's a good part of their income. Dental labs, fillings, and implants, and false teeth, and all the rest of it. As my father used to say, be true to your teeth or they could be false to you.
We've got Gianni coming up soon here, and we've got Joseph who would like to share his experience with insects. So maybe we could insert that now. And in the meantime, I'll download that video and see if we have enough time to put that in before Gianni is ready. Otherwise, we could do it after as well.
It's only a short one. So I'm Joseph from Austria, and I was sitting in my living room, and I had a visit from a friend. He was sitting opposite to me. We had a table between us. We were talking, and I just closed the door because he was speaking so loud. And if the door to the terrace, to the garden is open, then everybody could hear his voice. And I just closed the door, and I was looking at the middle of the room, because when I have the door to the garden opened, in summertime, when it's warm, there are coming some insects only to fly in the center of the room. They are flying around. I don't know which insects they are, and the name is not necessary in this case. But they were flying like crazy electrons. And it was just usual. And I was talking to my friend, and I just closed the door. Then I was focused on my friend. We were talking. But after some minutes, one of these flies flew to my face and made movements to grab my attention. And I just recognized it. And then I was talking to my friend, and as the topic ended, somehow it went through my mind, oh shit, I have closed the door. Now they can't go out again. And this was most probably the reason this insect came to me and made and got my attention. And for me, I had to think of, because I am using plasma technology for a longer time, and I have also plasmatic fields around, and I can feel the fields. And I learned somehow to be more connected to my environment. This means that if I'm going somewhere, it's I have more attention to all the beings that are around, even the smaller ones, because they are the same important as the others. And I have, since I'm working with the plasma technology, many experiences where I was not putting my attention to before I was starting with this technology. It's some kind of awareness that every living being on this planet comes from the same amino acid. It's the same amino acid, and at least on a higher level, we have connection to every living being throughout this, that we have the same amino acid. We're created out of the same. And maybe one or the other is able to open up, and there are so many additional informations we are blocking usually, because we have to focus on metastate, the work, this and that. And sometimes if we go through nature, for example, if we can release these blockages we have, this must be focused on this and that point, then we are receiving new experiences. It's just as example, and maybe you have also experiences that way. And yes, it's a great fun to use the technology. Please start with it if you have not started already. Thanks and goodbye.
Joseph, it's Dean here. I'd just like to quickly say that I've experienced this many times, and they're all souls. And when you become peaceful, and when you actually start, as you said, experiencing the plasma, then you find that other souls sense and know that you are in a certain position, and they start to show themselves to you. And if you don't react like many people do when a fly comes along, they just usually want to push it aside or squat it, or you want to make sure that it doesn't come near you. But when you actually start connecting with the soul, and the soul, the physical being, as you say, that is present, knows you have no intention to harm it in any way, then they start to interact with you completely differently. And many people say, oh, the animals do certain things, you never know what they're going to do. But it's that plasmatic condition, that reaction, that thought, the intention, and the senses that the animals, the created creatures have, many of them, where they sense, they know before you even think it. Sometimes before you do it, they have a field interaction, a field strength that that their bodies, they react to it instantly. And so when when you have somebody that's very connected with animals, the animals all come to them and flock with them and have no problem with people. Why would that be? It's the intention and the field strength, the plasmatic condition that is radiating out from that centralized core of the being, in this instance a human being, that is at peace and it doesn't want to harm, and the soul sense it. So whether it's a fly or whatever it is, the animals know instinctively. I had an experience today with some horses, and there's exactly the same thing. These very big creatures that they're standing way above me, and they're putting their head on top of my head and nibbling at my backpack and things, trying to see. And but when you're actually very peaceful and you don't have a fear, and you just want to interact in a beautiful way, creatures respond to this, that field strength. They understand it instantly. And so if this is the same on planet Earth, then it'll be the same across the universe when you're a peaceful soul. Thank you for that, Joseph. I just thought I'd say that.
Yes, I would just like to give a second example. Just today, I saw my neighbor putting on his clothings to dry outside. And we had a very hot day here in my region, and clouds were coming up for a short shower. And I didn't want to go there because we have no direct connection through our gardens. And I wanted to tell them that they have to get the clothes into because they are older ones. And it was in the moment I was creating the feeling, and with it the wish for them to receive the feeling to get the clothes just in time into a dry place, because the shower would start shortly. And I just could see some minutes after them fetching the clothings and bringing them into the dry room. And this is only possible because I had some other experiences, but I don't want to make a 1 hour session out of it. Everybody of us is capable of fetching experiences, and everybody of us has to fetch his own experiences, because it's the way afterwards people are looking into your eyes when you're telling them, and then they know because you carry these experiences. So just tap into, you will find your experiences, and you can do it with your soul, with your transitional energy, with your meta state also. But you have everything opened. Just find your place where you want to start. Thanks and goodbye.
Thank you, Joseph.
I can tell something about insects and animals too with the GANS plasma, if it's okay.
Yes, I was going to suggest that. I saw you trying to get in, and I know you've put a number of things in the Q&A here, so if you could
yeah, that's
talk,
the other
that
thing.
would be
Now,
good.
The Q&A is the other thing to the joint, but now I want something to tell about insects and animals here. Since I made the GANS plasma since 4 years, I always told that I have a lot of butterflies in my room, and crickets and grasshoppers. They really live here, and my door is always open, the door to the garden, but they don't want to go outside. They live here. Some wasps is right? Wasps, the fly, which is
wasp, you mean?
Wasp.
Yeah,
okay,
wasp.
wasp.
No, wasp.
What?
Wasp.
Yeah, wasp.
Okay, then
yeah.
wasp. Yeah, some wasp live here a few days too, and I'm not afraid. They are really handsome. And in the garden, I had never birds because the neighbor of my neighbor, she is feeding the birds since years. And since 4 years with the GANS plasma, sometimes some birds came to me, and every year it became more. And now I have really all the birds here in my garden at a special time. They flew really 10 birds and came here. And I have a frog, and I've never seen a frog here, 2 frogs, because here's no water. I've never seen a frog here. And since last year, a frog is living here. And since this year, I have this salamander. Is it right? This
yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, salamander, right. I have a salamander. And the thing is, I have a lot of baskets here with water, rainwater, and whatever. But there's directly a basket with GANS, and it's for my dog because she always drinks there. And on this basket, they all go there, and not to the other 100 things here where water is in it, the normal water, the rainwater, and they always come, the salamanders and the frogs, and they always came here and they drink from this water, from this special GANS. And it's really funny because and here in my room, I have experience. I told you I have always every year some grasshoppers and crickets, and I love the crickets because really they are so nice, and they, if I call them, they hear, and yeah. But the thing is, I have a lot of ganses here, bottles of ganses, and I have one bottle with the universal gans, and they always go to this bottle, sit over this bottle, and they love this universal gans. And really, there are hundreds of bottles here and glasses and whatever, but they always go to this universal gans. It's really incredible. I've made pictures every year and so on. And this year I have a grasshopper too since a few months, and she normally is more in her area. I have some green stuff here for her, and she's really, yeah, she don't want to go somewhere else. She's only, but once she was away, and I was looking at my universal gans, and she was sitting on this universal gans. Yeah, that's the thing I want to tell to this insects. Thank you.
Okay, well, we have you. Maybe you could explain a little bit. I could read your things you say in the Q&A if you wish, but if you could explain a little bit about them, if you could just tell about them, that would be great.
Yeah.
Just for a couple of minutes here at least, and yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, because of the knee gans, I wanted to say I don't have this knee gans. Okay, I don't have problems, but I have two friends. They suffer from my girlfriend, she's suffering from this shoulder pain chronically since quite a year, and she was at the doctor's and she gave every therapy and nothing helped, and she couldn't sleep, she couldn't whatever. It was so hurting, and she's not believing in this stuff, in this scan stuff. But I asked her, if you want, I can make you some pads and you can try it. Yeah. And then I made this pads, 3 layers, 2 times 3 layers of pads. The 3 layer is of, in the middle is CO2, outside is CuO and CH3, and a nano copper spiral. And the second one too, but in other amount of ganses. So, and it's for the front of the shoulder and behind of the shoulder. So I gave it to her, and I made for her dog. She has a dog from Romania, from a shelter, and since months the dog has diarrhea and was puking, whatever. And I made her a collar with this plastic where you can put gans in it, and I put 3 layers of these rings, plastic rings, and with I don't know, I glaube 1 cup of live gans, one I don't remember really, but okay, I gave this both to her, and a few weeks later she never said something to me, and a few weeks later when we were telephoned, I asked her, is something with your shoulder? Oh yeah, it's better. And what's with your dog? Yeah, it's better too. And I was thinking, maybe you can tell something about my gans if something working, but she's like it is. Could be, but I think she's don't believing. But I think from the time it's really, I think this is working, because the dog and they suffered months long, and suddenly when I gave it to her and a few weeks later I asked her, everything is okay. That's the one story. The other story I already had told, and my best friend had an elbow, this tennis elbow, is it right in English, tennis elbow?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, yes. And he was suffering since few months, and then he get an operation, and it was for fun, because afterwards he always had this swallowing and a lot of liquid in it, and he was running a month long every second day to the doctor, and he was with the syringe he put out the liquid, and then in the end he said, I don't know what to do. And he's not believing in GANs too. I normally don't ask or don't tell him, can I help you with this? But I think I will try. And I made an pad, one like a bracelet, but pads, one pad, for example, is CO2, and the next near pad is COO, the next pad is CH3, and then is a coil, and I put it near by near so that it became a collar, a bracelet, but not a normal bracelet, from pads made, and one by one, near by near. And I was asking, hey, let me put it on your arm, please. Yeah, okay, then do. After 4 hours, he was saying, now it's itching, and can we do it away? I think, yeah, we can do. And then I asked him something, what do you feel? Oh, the pain is gone. Yeah, and the next day, everything was away, the swallowing. And since then, it's half a year or 1 year ago. And since then, he never had any problems with it, and it was incredible. And the second thing is with the grasshopper. I told it already once. I catched a grasshopper for my female one here. I wanted to give her a male, and I was looking outside, and then I saw one and catched him with my hands. And when I came home, I put him out, and one leg was straight up in the air. It looked horrible. Also upside down, really it looked straight in the air. And so he was walking and jumping, and I looked him a few hours, and I think, oh my God, I'm so guilty. Really, it hurts me so much. And then I think, what can I do? Because it's so little, this thing. I can't put a GANs pad on it. The grasshopper is away. And then I think, okay, I will try. And I put this health pen, and it was on the table, this grasshopper, and I put the health pen and put it near his leg, and he really stands still. He was not going away. And I was sitting there half an hour. My hand was shivering because it's so hard for me to put this health pen to this little leg there. But I still half an hour, bit longer. And then suddenly the leg came down, sorry. And then he moved away, and everything was okay. And he lived here a few months, healthy and everything. That are my 3 testimonials I can tell. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Gail has a hand up here. Gail, would you like to go ahead?
Sorry, Rick, I was just trying to do a chat and it was disabled. And also, if Q&A, I haven't got anything in Q&A. I don't know if they're related, maybe, if the chat is disabled.
Let me see if I can fix the chat.
Maybe the Q&A will also get fixed. I don't know.
I know she was trying to join, Rick. I don't know if you brought her in, but I've tried a number of times. She wasn't able to come in.
I was hoping that after a number of times like Gianni, it might start to work, but
Okay,
it
the
didn't.
chat should be open for everyone now. That wasn't, it was set to only hosts and panelists, so chat's open.
Okay.
I've tried to bring you in a number of times to panelists. Can't do that. Won't go through.
And Q&A, does it?
Q&A, isn't that available to you?
Yeah, I put my note in there, but if the lady put something in, I didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't see yours. It was at the bottom, I see. Mm-hmm.
Did she put something? Because there is nothing here.
You can't see her questions?
Nothing. That's why I'm saying
it may be set up that way that only the panelists can see the Q&A questions.
But does that make sense? I don't know. It seems like we need to see the questions.
Probably because she just came in, Rick. She can't see what was posted before she arrived.
Right, that's probably what's happening.
Well, or before you enabled that setting, excuse me.
But I told this already right now, what I'm writing in the Q&A.
Yeah.
I love the grasshopper.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Me too, I love, but crickets are much more better.
No, but I mean, it's a miracle that,
yeah,
know,
it's really a miracle, yeah.
when you think of what they do, they hop immediately. So you have the touch and the pen work.
Yeah, right. But I told you, I have since 3 years this grasshoppers and crickets here, and they are really handsome. They want to live here and they stay here. They can. Some are more not so some not so handsome like others, but they are handsome, really.
Do you think that maybe they're from somewhere else? You never know.
I think it's because of the gens, because I have never had such stuff here. Since 4 years, it's different, totally different here with insects and animals. I never saw this lot of animals here and insects.
Yeah, it used to be that way for me too. We have praying mantis, as they call it. I don't know the word in German. And they are considered the ancestors, and you must never harm them. If they come in, you let them sit. So I do get quite a few now and then. But
how they are called?
Praying, like a prayer. Praying mantis, MANTIS.
Okay,
They sort of hold their legs like they're praying.
Oh, okay.
Joseph put the German word in the chat.
Thanks. Oh, man, I have to look. I don't see.
Betterin.
And Mr. Keshe covered some of the.
There's nothing in my chat.
You can't see the chat, the messages?
No, nothing at all.
I tried to copy my message, but I have to write it again and choose for everybody. Gottes Anbeterin, exactly.
Danke, ja. Yes, I know the German word, but I have never seen such animal. But I know them. I have heard about them, but I have never seen one. And these are in your home.
There,
okay,
Joseph he just sent to everyone, so now it can show up.
Thanks.
It's a mantis, MANTIS, actually, but
yeah, A like man, not men, man.
And previously, Mr. Keshe covered this in one of the workshops in the Q&A about Solomon. So you can go right back into the holy books and see what Solomon was practicing or was knowledge or was enlightened to, this interaction with birds or other things, or zero-time communication between maybe his commanders or other things. So this is not anything unique. We all have these capabilities. It's just we haven't used them in so long, and we've denied that they're there. What Joseph was saying, we've heard other knowledge seekers talk about, bringing flies outside. I know I've done certain things like that. Rick has as well. So this is just normal interactions. Like he said, it would become as normal as ABC for us in the future, or for mankind.
Now,
but you can read all about it in the stories of Solomon, I believe.
Mark, you recommended that we watch this video segment here.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Now, that's about 15 minutes, but Gianni's going to be back. Johnny will be back in about probably 5 minutes or so here.
Can you try me again there, Rick? Since that chat, I'm just curious as to whether I can get in.
I'll try you again.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nope. Thanks. Didn't work. Oh, let me try again. How many times does Gianni try?
He got in right away when I first tried it.
Rick, if you want to forward it until the part where you see the pictures of the teeth, and then maybe back it up a minute or two. I think it's a little farther down the line. Or maybe it is earlier.
Maybe I got the wrong one or something. Oh,
no,
there it is. Okay.
There it is. Okay, again, phenomena that's, according to science, is an impossibility. But, okay. I think the video can explain itself. Mr. Keshe will be speaking.
Okay, we'll play a few minutes here, and Gianni will be coming through shortly. Okay, let me share that better.
And as Dean said with the knee, there'll probably be a dental app coming available in the future.
You stick the microphone in your mouth and it fixes your teeth.
Rick, just quickly, just so you know, so on the dental thing, I can actually say to you that you have the two, at the moment, you have the two headphones. One headphone you put around your ears, and then the other headphone you put to whichever part of the body you would like to be balanced. So at the moment, I'm having some dental work done, and that means I'm putting the second headphone around my cheeks and around my jawbone for it to bring balance to that part of the body. So just so you know.
Perfect example. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's play a bit of this and try to get it in before Gianni wants to do his show. So I don't know if we're starting at exactly the right place, but we'll start from here and see what happens.
Then we'll try. As you can see, the difference between the two is very clear. We see new bones, new structures, new covers appear. It's the same for us with the what we call the world of salinity. Can we create a condition? Would you like to change the screen, please, Rick? Can we come to the point that with application of the remote, we can deliver directly, for example, to build a piece of wall of a heart of a baby the way we did with a tooth from thousands of kilometers away without open heart surgery? Can we rebuild part of a kidney which has been damaged in your dialysis machine? Can our doctors, with a new technology, remove kidney stone without any intervention? Do they need to change the salinity within a kidney for the stone to melt within a few sessions? And now you understand why we tell you, volunteer. Do you want me to go to multinationals and tie your hand with research? Or do you want to do it yourself and help the others and our doctors to understand? We are not in medical practices. We are in elevation of the soul, how the soul decides to change the what we call dimension within dimension of physicality. And secondly, all these trials is done by the doctors. We are providers of the knowledge. So, if you want to see if it works, if it can bring a new understanding for us, volunteer. And opposite to the other researchers by doctors and institutions, where they go out and look for billions to pay scientists to find out. Keshe Foundation asks you to pay for, as volunteer, for us to learn, for scientists to bring the new dimension.
All right,
Thank you, Rick.
perfect. Thanks, Mark, for that suggestion. I see that Horatio is in, Gianni is ready, so let's dive in.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Gianni.
Horatio.
And welcome, Horatio.
Horatio, cred că trebuie să deschizi microfonul.
Ok, acum am făcut panelist. Hello everybody.
Hi.
Nice to hear you.
You too.
Ok. Să începem.
Let's start.
Dacă
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, very good. Sounds good, both of you.
Ok.
Pe mine la fel.
Da.
Sunt cu calculatorul afară, în spațiul dăruirii.
I'm with the laptop outside of giving space.
Și astăzi una dintre surprize va fi despre spațiul dăruirii Târgu Mureș.
And today we will talk about the place of giving from Târgu Mureș.
Dar vom începe cu experimentul cu orsul, foto din imaginea pe care a postat-o Rick.
But we will start with the photo that Rick posted with the hand and the seeds.
Barley,
yeah.
pornesc acum share-ul și voi prezenta și câteva imagini
I will start the share and I will show some image from here.
Ok, începem cu harta României.
This is Romania.
Și experimentul de care vorbim astăzi, cel cu orsul, are loc aici.
Today experiment with the barrel, it's here with the yellow.
Cel unde avem culturile de grâu sunt aici, în Suceava.
The wheats are in the north, in Suceava.
Iar spațiul dăruirii este aici, în Mureș.
And the space of giving is here in Mureș.
Deci să începem cu ferma din Fărău, pentru că aici lucrăm atât cu văcuțele, cât și culturi agricole.
So to start with the farm from Fărău, because here we will talk about agriculture and animals too.
Ok, am început, cum deja știe toată planeta, cu aceste ateliere, plasmă, mediu, agricultură, alimentație.
So, as all you know, we started with the plasma, medium, and agriculture and alimentation.
Și cu un an înainte am organizat aceste ateliere în ferma Fărău, unde am spus, unul dintre ele.
And a year ago, we organized a workshop in Fărău, to Ionel farm.
Am făcut gansurile împreună, cele 4 gansuri de bază.
We made the 4 basic ganses together.
Bobinele nano-acoperite în mediu caustic pentru obținerea celor 4 gansuri de bază.
The coils to make the 4 basic ganses.
Recolta, cum bine știți, a fost magnifică, este magnifică, de fapt, continuă.
The harvest gans was magnificent, as you all can see.
S-au folosit gansurile pe care le-am obținut acolo pentru plasmatizarea semințelor de orz.
And we use plasma from the reactors to plasmatize the seeds.
Yes. Apoi s-a trecut la însămânțare.
And then we plant the seeds.
A răsărit rapid.
They spread out very quickly.
Și a avut o înfrățire magnifică.
And they have a brotherhood between them, very, very nice, very magnificent.
Dintr-un bob, din fiecare bob au ieșit 7 plante.
From one seed, we have 7 plants from just one seed.
Ionel a spus că nu a mai văzut așa ceva.
Ionel said that he never seen this before in any place.
Și într-adevăr, câmpurile care radiază în zonă sunt magnifice.
And of course, the fields that radiating here are magnificent.
Diverse etape ale culturii.
Different stages of the
Încă nu am recoltat, abia joi săptămâna aceasta va începe recoltarea.
The harvest will begin this Friday or something like that. This week.
Da. Aici fotografia pe care a prezentat-o Rick mai devreme.
This is the photo that Rick posted some time ago.
Magnific. Aici Geta încântată.
Here is Jetta, just being happy there.
Nu ne mai venea să mai plecăm de acolo.
We had the feeling that we couldn't live there. So beautiful.
Aici cantitatea de boabe pe un pic.
This is the seeds from one plant.
Ceea ce este wow. Nu am mai văzut atâtea pe un pic.
So this is many seeds from one single plant.
Nu le-am numărat, dar o să fac niște numărători de curiozitate.
I didn't count them, but I will do it.
Aici, în aceeași zonă, firesc, am aplicat plasma și în solar pentru legume, tomate, castraveți.
So in the same area, we apply plasma also to the greenhouses, to the tomatoes, the cucumbers, and all the beautiful souls.
Și ceva esențial ce am mai făcut în zonă, în acest bazin cu apă, săpat de Ionel, am adăugat plasma.
And something essential that we made in this pool of water that Ionel has made, we added gases.
Cele 4 gansuri de bază, apoi CO2 și NO.
At first the 4 basic gases, and then CO2 and ZNO.
Este un generator de câmpuri continuu care alimentează întreaga zonă.
This is a field generator that alimentates all around the area.
De când am adăugat gansurile în apă, apa nu se mai evaporă, nu mai scade din bazin așa cum se întâmpla până acum, până să introducem gansurile.
So until we added the gases, the water from the pool was evaporating very quickly, but from the time that we use the gases, the pool remains very stable.
Asta noi am observat-o la vasele noastre cu apă, dar niciodată în cantitate așa de mare și cu deschidere așa de mare.
We saw this effect in small jars with water, but not at this scale with this pool.
Ok. Acesta a fost prima parte cu ferma din Fărău. Vom continua, pentru că de acolo am primit și laptele.
This is the first part with the farm from Fărău, and this is the place where we have the milk from the cows and all the cheese.
Voi intra în alt dosar.
I will enter in another file.
Ok. Același lucru l-am făcut și în Suceava, unde ați văzut în nordul României.
The same thing we made in Suceava, in the north part of Romania.
Vășcăuți se numește localitatea.
The place called Vășcăuți.
Acolo am făcut și această fotografie și gansurile magnifice.
There we made this photo with the beautiful ganses from there.
Aici am întâlnit niște suflete magnifice, Mihaela și Laurențiu.
Here we met some beautiful souls, Mihaela and Laurențiu.
Primele gansuri le-am făcut în biroul lor la fermă.
The first ganses we made at their farm, in their bureau.
Aici în spate este o imagine cu cânepă. Ferma se numește Hemp Farm.
You can see in the back there a hemp plant, because this farm is called hemp farm.
Și clar anul acesta și la cânepă s-a acționat cu plasmă, de fapt și anul trecut.
And of course, we apply plasma to the hemp plants this year.
Aici extragem gans și aminoacid pentru aplicațiile care urmează.
Here we're extracting the gases for the next applications in the field.
Din aceste reactoare am recoltat gans, aminoacid și plasmă lichidă.
Because from these reactors we collected the gas, the amino acid, and the plasma solution.
La fel, alte reactoare care au fost pornite acasă de Laurențiu și Mihaela.
And other reactors that were started at home by Laurențiu and Mihaela.
Și aici chiar ne-au dăruit acest video în care arată cum recoltează aminoacidul și apoi gansul.
And they give us this video how they are gathering the amino acid from the reactors.
Cantitatea de aminoacide asupra este impresionantă.
The quantity of the amino acid is very impressive.
Este important, este esențial să colectăm aminoacidul.
It's essential to collect the amino acid.
Pentru că este esențial în conexiunile pe care le facem, interacțiunile pe care le facem.
Because it's essential in the interaction that we are doing.
Firesc, ca peste tot, primul lucru pe care l-am făcut, am introdus gansurile în fântână, în puțurile cu apă.
Of course, how we do it in other places, we pour the gases, the four basic gases inside the fountain, the well.
Și aici, din momentul în care am adăugat gansurile, în casă, Laurențiu folosește la duș, la baie, peste tot, doar apă plasmatică.
And from that time on, Laurențiu is using inside the house only plasmatic water at the kitchen, at the bathrooms, everywhere.
La fel, la fermă, am introdus în cele 4 fântâni care există acolo.
And of course, at the farm, we pour gases in the fountain that they have there.
Aici, din cele 4 reactoare de bază, am luat câte 250 de mililitri de gans și am adăugat la 1000 de litri de apă.
Here we took 250 milliliters of gas for each reactor, the 4 basic gases, and mixed them and poured them in the 1000 liters of water.
De fapt, vine 120 de mililitri de gans la 1000 de litri de apă.
That is 120 milliliters of gas
Aici,
per
1000 de litri de apă.
1000 liters of water.
Aici tancul este de 2000, așa că am adăugat 240 de mililitri.
This reservoir is 2000 liter, so that is why we add 250 milligrams of gases from each gases.
Păi am trecut la plasmatizarea terenului.
And then we spray the terrain.
Este bine de precizat că terenul nu a fost arat, ci doar biscuit.
It's very important to say that this terrain was not plugged with the tools. It was just just with the disc for the top of the soil. Was what?
Am plasmatizat și noaptea și senzația pe care am trăit-o unică, magnifică.
We plasmatized at night too, and the sensation was unique. Very, very nice.
În acea perioadă au fost plasmatizate aproape 200 de hectare de teren.
In that period was plasmatized approximately 200 hectares of land.
Aici am făcut mixul pentru plasmatizat semințele de grâu.
Here we made the mixed for the plasmatizations of the seeds.
120 de mililitri de CO2 și ZNO la 10 litri de apă.
120 milliliters of CO2 and ZNO to 10 liters of water.
La fel și aici, găleata este de 20. Am înlocuit-o cu una de plastic.
And this bucket was replaced with the plastic one that had 20 liters of water.
Deci, cu 10 litri de soluție plasmatică se plasmatizează aproximativ o tonă de grâu.
So with 10 liters of plasmatic water, you can plasmatize approximately o tonă, zis?
Da.
1,000 kilos of seeds.
Da? Și aici, în bidon, e un amestec de CO2, ZNO. GANS nu este foarte mult, ci e și soluție salină și aminocid.
So in this bottle, you have the mixture of CO2 and ZNO. The gas is not very much, but it's a lot of plasma, liquid plasma from the reactors.
E aminocidul esențial.
And the amino acid, of course.
Aici experiența iarăși magnifică, pentru că în procesele obișnuite nu poți, trebuie să umbli cu mască, cu mănuși, pentru că produsele chimice sunt toxice. Cu plasma nu se întâmplă acest lucru.
So this is a beautiful experiment because if you do this with chemicals, you have to wear mask and protection. But when you do it with plasma, you can enjoy without them.
Ne-am bucurat toți și atmosfera magnifică, veselie, voie bună și toți au rămas surprinși că n-au mai obosit.
We are all very excited and happy and enjoying what we are doing, and we were just realizing that we didn't get any opposite. Tired, yes, thank you.
Clar, fiecare a gustat grâu plasmatizat.
Of course, everybody tasted this plasmatide with seeds.
Și au rămas surprinși că nu le mai era foame așa cum le era de obicei.
And they were surprised because they were not hungry anymore, just like they were before.
Aici, însămânțarea, tot așa a ieșit rapid și magnific.
This is before we plant the seed, and you can see the plants are very healthy.
Aici, de fapt, este un video unde Laurențiu explică tocmai ce am spus eu, cum am folosit plasma și cât.
And this is a video where Laurențiu is explaining how we used plasma on the field and the seeds.
Videoul a fost făcut, cred că, luna trecută.
And the video was made 1 month ago, I think.
Okay. Aici sunt foto cu etapele, așa, când a răsărit, încă mai era zăpadă. Nu a fost afectat sub nicio formă de temperaturi, de ploi, de secetă, de zăpadă.
Here you can see it in stages in the spring, where the snow was almost melting. They were not affected by the cold or the snow. They are looking very, very nice.
Nu au fost necesar să se folosească niciun fel de pesticid sau erbicid.
They did not use, was not anymore necessary to use any pesticide or herbicides.
Am folosit doar plasma și în cantitățile descrise.
We use only plasma and in the quantities that we described.
Și costurile sunt atât de mici încât nu le vine să creadă.
And the costs are so low that they now cannot believe it.
Absolut magnific. la magnificul Laurențiu.
This is the magnificent Laurențiu.
Încântat de grâu.
He was very pleased about the wheat.
Aici și alte culturi plasmatizate de floarea soarelui, de alte rapiță.
This is sunflower, rape, other types of plants, culture plants.
Pe astea le vom discuta despre ele în întâlnirile următoare, pentru că sunt încă în proces.
We will talk about it next times because they are in the process of growing.
Ok. Aceasta a fost și împărtășirea cu grâu.
This was the part with the wheat, the sharing with the wheat. And I prepared
Dacă până prepar celelalte, dacă aveți întrebări, vă rog.
So until I prepare the next material, if you have any questions, please.
Okay, I'm not seeing any questions coming up. Gail, you have go ahead.
I'm just checking to find out how did they harvest the wheat? Do they use machine or by hand?
Yes, we use machine.
Is it a different kind of machine that doesn't cause, what do you say? Like, is the machine very, very heavy?
Yes, it's a big machine. It's for big parts of land, so you can.
Does it cause compaction, or does the GANs help relieve the compaction of the soil?
Gianni, răspuns tu?
Do you want?
Okay, I will answer you. It will cause compaction, but you do not use many tools on the fields around the year, so you just use it at the first, and then when you harvest it, so the land is kept very, very light,
Loose or
loose. Yes, loose.
not compact. Okay.
Yes, loose.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We were talking about the weeds earlier, and thank you, Gianni, and especially the team. I know you have a lot of support in the background. You're not doing this all yourself. Very beautiful work.
Thank you. Thank we, all of us.
That was, go ahead, Mark. Are you going to ask about the...
Why didn't the weeds, we would think that the weeds grew just as strong as the plants, but we don't see that, whether it's on the barley or whether it's on the wheat plots. How did you control the weed growth again, if you wouldn't mind sharing? You said the farmer was amazed as well of the weeds not growing as they normally would. You would think if you treated the field the same, the weeds would have the same energy as the plants. And how did you manage that to keep them on a lower structure?
Gianni, răspuns tu?
Te rog, răspunde tu, ca lată câinii aici.
Okay, I will answer, Johnny. It's with a lot of dogs there right now. So the process is just how we describe it, just by plasmatizing at first the field, and that plasmatizing the seeds. They have a connection, directly connection with the ganses on the field, and they grow much faster than the little plants they are there. So they are growing too, but they are very small at the base of the grid.
So they sort of get out front ahead of them because they have the plasmatization and connected with the soil, where the weeds wouldn't have that. Okay.
And of course, it's very important if we have a lot of weeds there to make a nano plant from the weeds that we have in the garden, to open it up to nano stage, so we can feed it again to the plants that are alive, so they can be elevated in the process, so they can feed themselves from the fields too. So in this way, everybody is in equilibrium without any killing.
Okay. So yeah, I think we were talking about that earlier. And didn't Gianni mention that the other farmers had taken serious notice of what was going on, and because of weather conditions, they didn't have such an ideal growing season, but these fields really standing out, shining star or something.
Yeah, it happens. Something had happened there in some weeks ago, something like that. A strong wind and strong rain was there, but the terrain that was plasmatized and all the beautiful plants there were very okay, but around the place that was not plasmatized, many people lost their grapes for almost 70% of it, by just pushing them down to the soil from the big winds. So this terrain that was plasmatized was kept in equilibrium.
Some sort of dome of protection in a way, like what we saw with Tom in Dominica.
Yeah, something like that. The plant, I don't think it's almost a perfect dome, but it's a field between the plants and around the plants that I don't think that's exactly a round dome, but the field is shifting between the plants and around them, and they can manage to flow with the nature, in turmoils.
Like a buffer zone.
They went through the drought part without water better than the other fields too, we understand.
Yeah. Well, an experiment made with the corn this year in Alba at Yonel Farms, that the corn was seeded just 1 month ago, the second time, so to speak. So the corn that was seeded in the spring, just like they do it at normally way, was in 1 month was at the same height with this corn that was planted 1 month ago. So that was really, really impressive, because after preparing the terrain, there was a lot of sun and a lot of heat, and although the seeds were sprouting and the corn was getting out the ground very, very nice and even, all the plants were looking great. So this is a experiment that we are doing, so people can see that there is enough time until autumn, so you can have plants that are getting to the maturity.
It must be the talk of the town or at the farmer's market or something, all wondering what's going on in these fields.
So, this is the first year. So if he keeps maintaining this,
Nu le vine să creadă.
They couldn't believe it, yeah.
Și acum când am fost la fermă, sunt alți fermieri deja interesați pentru că ce au văzut nu le vine să creadă așa ceva.
Last time we went to the farm, we met with some farmers that they couldn't believe their eyes and they want to try to because they do not.
Deci are altă culoare, plantele au altă culoare, altă intensitate, altă mărime.
The plants have different colors, different intensity, different heights, different structure.
Expresia cea mai corectă este o plantă vie, grâu viu, orz viu.
The correct expression would be alive with life in them. A living with. Yes.
Yeah, and these fields have elevated plasma scientists, I think, across the planet, haven't they, Rick? For those who understand a little more about the work, they're not only working locally, they're working globally or maybe universally.
I think so, yes. Inspired many.
A question. I like that dog. So cute. I want to know, did the farmer use any Monsanto Roundup before? Well, what chemicals did they use before you came?
Cei cu care colaborăm nu au lucrat cu Monsanto.
Cei care înainte, zicea.
Nu au lucrat cu așa ceva.
The people that we know, they do not work with this Monsanto.
Nu, pentru că sunt oameni care au ajuns la o anumită experiență.
Because there are people that they arrive to a certain understanding.
Erau în căutarea de soluții practice, pentru că simțeau că trebuie să facă o schimbare.
And they were looking for practical solutions because they feel that something has to change.
So they did not use any chemicals before, or they tried not to.
S-a folosit chimicale înainte, dar în cantitate mai mică.
They use a chemical, but in small quantities. So.
În ferma din Alba nu au fost necesare pentru că acolo mai are și compostul de la băcuțe.
At the farm in Alba, there was not necessary to intervene with chemicals because they have all the manure from the cows.
Ce au folosit au fost, înainte de asta, au folosit ierbicide și fungicide.
But they always also used before using plasma herbicide and fungicide, pesticides.
So they made their own compost before. Cute dog.
Yeah.
Your name is Merlin.
Merlin.
Yes.
Magli?
Merlin.
Oh, Merlin. Okay.
Merlin.
Oh, Merlin.
Yeah.
În fundal sunt imagini din aprilie când am construit domul copilăriei în spațiul de Ruirii Târgu Mureș.
Here is some image from spring when we made the dome of children inside the place of giving in Târgu Mureș.
Și vă rog să vă uitați la vegetația din jur.
And you can see here the vegetation around the dome in the spring.
Pentru că ce va urma este impresionant.
Because what will be next will be impressive.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow.
Aici, asta va fi, că asta și spuneam, tema discuției, dăruirea din seara aceasta, spațiul dăruirii Târgu Mureș.
So this is the discussion that we have tonight, the place of giving from Târgu Mureș.
Unde există un dispozitiv de mediu pe care îl cunoașteți, telefonul albastru.
Where we can find the device of environment called Blue Elephant.
Aici,
What
clar,
kind of sorry. What did you say about elephant?
It's
aparat pentru respirat.
Breathing device.
It's a breathing device, yes. For asthmatic, you replace the medicine that they used to put in there for asthmatic people with the plasma, and of course making the coils between with plasma, the coils with plasma around this container of the device.
Domul din imagine are 6 metri.
This dome has 6 meter diameter and 3 meters height.
Și o să vedem acum continuarea.
Thank you, Jen. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny, and team, and Horatio for translating. What about the seeds? Will the farmer reclaim the seeds and not have to buy seeds anymore? I know this has been a real blessing to the farmer. If he were to spend $1,000 on inputs, you've probably reduced it 90%, 80%, 95%. Did the farmer give you any idea of what sort of reduction percentage-wise in inputs he experienced this year? Did he reduce the inputs in half as far as cost?
Johnny?
Te rog să traduci, că nu am înțeles ultima parte.
Întrebarea este dacă s-au redus costurile, cât de mult s-au redus, dacă nu mai trebuie să cumpere semințe și nu mai trebuie să cumpere chimicale și chestii, știi? Cât la sută?
Păi, din start, doar folosind plasma, n-au mai fost necesare 1000 de euro pentru, un exemplu, pentru 120 de hectare de grâu, se foloseau cam în jur de 20.000 de euro pentru îngrășăminte.
So the difference is that before the plasmatic technology, to spray all the terrain with chemicals, they used to buy 20,000 euro worth of chemicals, you know, for 120 hectares of land.
Da? Asta însemnau procese repetate de ierbicidare, pesticidare, îngrășământ, deci multe intrări cu mașinile.
So this means that this process is with intervening with a lot of process of spraying with fungicides and pesticide and also sorts of chemicals. So you are entering.
You mean repeated applications?
Yeah, you enter into terrain with many times with the tractor. So you are doing a lot of compartment of the terrain. Compacting the compaction.
Yeah, that's what Gail was talking about earlier, and that was a good point. And especially you mentioned if you just have to go in at the beginning and at the end of the harvest, there's a lot less damage than having to go in and doing spraying of this and spraying of that for pesticides, herbicides, and all the other sides they have.
Yeah, that's right.
Aici Deci am spus sumele pe care le foloseam înainte. Ce s-a folosit în acest an au fost toate costurile pentru mult mai mult de acest teren, doar 100 de euro.
So if this was approximately the cost before using plasma, this year the cost when you use the plasma was approximately 100 euros in comparison with 20,000.
Încă nu am ajuns să discutăm despre cu cât a crescut recolta. Asta vedem în momentul când recoltăm.
And the next phase is to see the harvest, to make the comparison with the harvest from the previous years. So when we make the harvest, we will know.
So there's your stats, Mark. So it seems like about a 200 to 1 ratio of, so it's about 0.5% of the cost.
Amazing.
Da,
with possibly double or triple the production, as well as the quality may be much greater as well, and the percent protein and all of that.
Right.
So you are remaining with seeds that are coming back to the real genome, to the original genome that you can use to plant next year. So you do not have to buy any seeds from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The harvest was increased, and so wasn't the bank account of the farmer or the corporation he works for. That's an amazing story, testimonial. And we haven't heard the end of it, I'm sure.
Well,
okay.
It's through the work like what Gianni's doing that is promoting the plasma technology, and this is normally this if the Keshe Foundation is involved in Mr. Keshe, he would require a certain percentage of the profits now that the farm is making, since they're making 200 or what is it? 2,000% more profits or whatever it ends up being. That is a percent should go back to the Keshe Foundation to help the technology. But with the work Gianni does, he is basically a walking, talking encyclopedia of plasma knowledge that's being spread around the world. So, and through his examples, it multiplies and gets the word out. And there's lots of room for the kind of work he's doing, as well as the kind of work the Keshe Foundation's doing. There are many, many fields, so to speak, for each to have their endeavors in. What do we have here, Gianni?
Aici vom continua cu spațiul dăruirii. Horatiu?
I think your mic's off, Horatio.
Okay, I got it now. We will talk about the space of giving in Târgu Mureș now.
Pentru a le pune în foraj. În foraj,
Cred că tot mai bine spune Horatiu.
Da.
Redeschid. O închid aici. Am colectat gansurile pentru punerea lor în fântână, în spațiul dăruirii.
We collected the ganses to throw in the fountain, in this place of giving.
Este prima fântână cu apă plasmatică din Târgu Mureș.
Is the first well with plasmatic water in Târgu Mureș.
Și de fapt este un spațiu unic în România și cred că pe planetă.
And actually it's a unique space in Romania, and I think on the planet.
Din acest spațiu se dăruiește apă plasmatică, apă restructurată tuturor celor care doresc, fără niciun cost, liber.
From this place, the people they want to taste and drink the plasmatic water, they can come here and take it freely to consume it.
Da. Aici am luat câte 250 de mililitri din fiecare gans, ca de obicei.
And here we took 250 milliliters of gas and amino acid and plasmatic solution from each reactor.
Mulțumim lui Mehran T, cel care a pus la dispoziție acest spațiu al dăruirii.
Thanks to Avram Trifon that made it placed to our disposal.
Este cel care face extracția gansurilor.
Is the man that is making now the extraction of gases.
Aici CH3-ul, care de fapt este un amestec de CH3 și H3.
And now CH3, that is a mixture of CH3 and H3.
De aici culoarea neagră.
This is the black color.
De fapt este mai mult un verzui închis, spre negru.
It's like a very dark green to black.
Aici am introdus gansurile în foraj.
And this is very poor, the gases.
Acestea au fost primele 4. După am adăugat CO2-Z9. Vom vedea în continuare.
First we pour the mixture of the 4 basic gases, and then after a while we pour the mixture of CO2 and xenol gas.
Aici este mixul de CO2-Z9.
This is the gas, the CO2 and xenol gas.
Avram a fost cel care a făcut operațiunea. Îi mulțumim.
And thank you to Ram that did this action.
Și acum v-aș ruga să vă uitați la vegetația din zonă.
And now you can see the vegetation around the dome at the present time.
Deja domnul aproape că nu se mai vede.
You can just see the dome. You can almost see the dome.
Surpriza pe care am adăugat-o în spațiul dăruirii este această piscină în care am adăugat plasmă.
And the surprise that we make in this place of giving is a little pool with plasmatic water.
Clar, apa plasmatică din fântână, plus am mai adăugat gansuri de CO2-Z9.
Of course, the plasmatic water from the well, and we added CO2 and xenol gas.
Și după testimoniale, primul lucru pe care îl fac, sunt primul care fac baie în piscină.
And after the testimonials, I will be the first that will make a bath in this pool.
Și în noaptea aceasta voi dormi clar în dom, pentru că am pregătit și un hamac.
And tonight I will sleep inside the dome because we prepare a hammock.
Joseph had a question in the chat here. He says, I've seen many metal parts in contact with the GANs. Shouldn't the GANSs have no contact to metal jars, tanks, or being piped through metal pipes?
Le-am demontat și am schimbat metoda introducând altceva.
Adică? Ce vrei? Nu am înțeles. Ce demontat?
Dar nu, ce spunea cu...
Zicea că dacă e ceva bai, că e conducte de metal și că e mult metal acolo, știi?
Păi tocmai asta spuneam că am adăugat țeava de plastic. Spune cum am băgat țeava de plastic în interior.
Okay, so the water is inside the metal pipe, but we put in a plastic pipe, a PPR pipe, that water is taken out from there.
Do you mean inside the metal pipe?
Yes.
And do you use any aluminum pails to hold the water? Or is
Ierzy
it
cut. Iron zinc.
The tube is made out of iron zinc,
Yes.
you know.
Mm-hmm. And the pail that water, is it stainless steel or aluminum?
The pail, I don't know what is pail.
The bucket. I think he said.
Okay, the bucket. Okay. Yes, at first it was from iron and zinc, but then we changed it with the plastic bucket.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Absolut magnific.
Wow. Everything is growing so fast. The dome is underneath. Beautiful.
Creșterea se datorează în special pulverizării care am făcut-o când am făcut domul. Horacio, iară microfonul închis?
Sorry. Talking with the mic closed. So the plants are so big because in the spring we sprayed with nano plants.
Păi, pulverizarea a fost făcută când am făcut domul.
And the spraying was made in spring when the dome was built.
În special că am pulverizat de deasupra ca să acopăr tot și s-a răspândit.
Especially when I sprayed the dome, the nano plant was spread all around.
Avram, super încântat.
Avram is very happy.
Și chiar Horatiu trebuie să mai adăugăm încă 3 hamace în dom.
And John is saying that you just have to put 3 more hammocks in there.
Păi spațiul este deschis și cei care doresc să experimenteze, să vadă, să simtă într-un dom, să facă baie într-o apă plasmatică, invitați.
So the space is open, so when people there want to try it, want to sleep in there and try to make a bath in the plasmatic water, they are invited.
Ok, imediat deschid alt fișier.
I will open another file in a moment.
Un alt lucru pe care l-am făcut în spațiul dăruirii este brânza plasmatică.
Another thing that we made inside this place of giving is the plasmatic cheese.
Acum deschidem. Clar, laptele îl avem de la fermă, de la băcuțele fericite.
Of course, the milk we have from the farm, on the happy cows.
Când am ajuns, lumina era mai difuză, am schimbat pe urmă lumina.
When we arrived, the lights were lower, so we changed the light.
Deci am luat laptele proaspăt de la fermă, l-am adus în spațiul dăruirii, l-am pus în vase.
So we took the milk from the farm and we put it inside these containers.
După care o parte din smântână am colectat-o pentru preparatele care au urmat.
Sour sau ceva, dar nu știu exact cum se citește.
Sour, the part of the milk that is with the highest fat, it's called sour, I think. So
Yes.
okay, so the sour was taken out and then was added.
Am făcut o combinație de cheag și plasmă.
Cum să zice cheag?
Nu
un pic.
Sau cream.
So we made a combination of plasma, water, and 1 second, so I can find the word.
După care am pus câteva picături, asta o să vedem și într-un video.
Cheese or yogurt cheese, is it?
No.
Cottage cheese, kind of.
Oare rennet?
Să vedem. Rennet.
Oh, okay. And what kind of cows?
Of the cheese.
Romanian cows. No special cows.
I mean, we know
No.
like a Jersey cow or a Holstein cow, that kind of thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Aici, noi ceea ce prezentăm este o brânză unică.
Întrebarea era dacă ce fel de vaci sunt, știi? Nu știu dacă...
Sunt băcuțe normale.
Normal cows, I don't know.
Nu sunt rasă pură sau rasă deosebită, nu.
No special...
Rennet.
Rennet? Cheag? Calf rennet.
Cheag de vacă.
Calf rennet. For making the cheese. This is the term, yeah, okay.
You know why I'm asking the question about the cow? The Jersey cows have a very, very high butter fat. They're a bit different. They have the most delicious milk. That's why I'm asking.
Laptele este extraordinar. M-am îndrăgostit de el.
The milk is very good. I fell in love with it.
Dar m-am îndrăgostit și de văcuțe.
But I fell in love with the cows also.
Îmi place să stau cu ele.
With the cows.
Oh, okay.
Îmi place să stau cu ele și le place să le pulverizez cu plasma.
I like to spend time with them and they like when I spray with plasma.
De câte ori ajung la fermă, primul lucru, înainte de a lua ceva, dăruiesc din sufletul meu și pulverizez cu plasmă văcuțele, locul în care trăiesc.
First thing that I do when I arrive at the farm, I give gift freely from my soul to the cows and all the souls that are present there.
Văcuțele sunt magnifice, salută și respectă întotdeauna.
And the cows are magnificent because they are saluting every time.
Și cei care doriți să vizitați o fermă de văcuțe fericite, bineveniți!
And if you want to see a farm with the happy cows, you are welcome.
Aici am arătat fotografii cum am făcut procesul brânzei, dar acum urmează și video imediat. Clar am preparat și ceva specific românesc.
This is the cheese and then we prepare something specific Romanian food.
Balmos se numește, dar de data asta balmos plasmatic cu brânză plasmatică.
The name is Balmosh Plasmatic with plasmatic cheese. It's made with corn flour.
Da.
Oh,
Aici avem și imaginea cu elefanțelul albastru.
This is the blue elephant device.
we cannot use corn here because it's all GMO, genetically modified. We can
La
use
noi nu.
Yes, we kept the seeds from our old people, and we still have the old seeds.
here. There's nothing said.
So we do not have sweet corn.
Mhm.
The corn is with the taste of the corn, not sweet corn.
Yeah, no, I know the what you're speaking. Beautiful.
Okay, very nice.
Da, aici am făcut un video unde arătăm cum facem amestecul de gans și cheag, adică plasmă și cheag.
Here we show how to make the mixture between the GANS and
Renet.
Renet,
Calf Renet.
KF Renet.
Calf. Exact.
Da? În eprubet am luat de la fermă cheagul și tradițional se folosește 5 ml la 50 de litri de lapte.
So this is the KF Renet that we took from the farm, and usually you use
Se folosește 5 ml pentru 50 de litri de lapte.
5 milliliters for 50 milliliters of milk, usually.
Noi am făcut o combinație, am pus 15 ml cheag
And we made a combination with 15 milliliters of KF.
și restul 45
Yes.
și 45 de mililitri de plasmă lichidă de de CO2 cu aminoacid din reactor, dar fără gans.
And 45 milliliters of amino acid and plasma without any gas, just from the top of the reactor, from the CO2 reactor.
Și practic am multiplicat substanța în acest mod.
And practically we multiply this substance in this way.
Și o să vedem în continuare, pentru 10 litri de lapte folosim doar 12 picături.
And we will see next that for 10 liters of milk, we will use only 12 drops.
Cheagul este obținut din alge, deci tot pe bază naturală.
This substance is made out of algae.
Deci am adăugat plasma de CO2 cu aminoacid deasupra, am agitat-o, după care am trecut la picături.
So we add the plasma of CO2 and then we carry on with the drops.
Aici este încă faza de extracție smântână.
This is the phase when we took out the cream from the top of the milk.
Am sărit peste video unde am adăugat picăturile.
Da, nu am văzut. I'm trying to find the video with when we add the drops. Asta nu?
Posibil să fie puțin mai încolo, vedem.
Asta a fost.
Acum, da.
Okay, this is the one.
Da, ok, acesta este. Aici, practic, am luat o pipetă.
How long does it take to make the KF? Is it a long, long time, or does the GANs, I mean the plasma water, does that make it faster?
În vasul de 5 litri am adăugat 3 picături.
Deci în cât timp să face?
2 ore.
In flat 2 hours. After we have the drops.
O să vedem, dar acum s-au pus picăturile, se mestecă, în 2 ore începe prima separare.
So this is where we put the drops of the mixture of gas and the solution, and after 2 hours they are already separating inside these containers.
Da, după punerea la scurt și asta, cu totul durează cam în jur de, să zicem, 6-9 ore.
Do they use GANs, Gianni? Do you use GANs or just the plasma water from the GANs?
Only the plasma water, no GANs.
No.
The plasma water and amino acid.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, thank you.
Deci aici, după o oră, deja s-a închegat.
And this is after 1 hour.
E prima amestecare.
Run out.
And now we stir it.
După care, cum am văzut mai sus, l-am pus într-o pânză la scurs.
And then we put it inside of material and let it to run out.
Ne-am folosit de ce am avut la îndemână, am improvizat pentru a crea o presă.
We improvise a press from a bucket.
Și în modul acesta am obținut o brânză magnifică.
This way we have a magnificent cheese.
Care i-au încântat pe toți cei care au gustat-o.
That was a delight for every people that tasted.
Da, pot să spun și eu, care am făcut de atâtea ori, că acesta a ieșit absolut magnific.
And I can say that I made it a lot of times, but this one was magnificent.
Este firesc în intensitatea spațiului dăruirii și a noastră celor care dăruim, totul curge, totul este magnific.
It's very normal that in the space of giving, everything is just flowing.
Aici am pregătit brânza pentru pus în soluție salină.
And this is where we prepare the cheese to put it in a saline solution.
Cum s-a văzut în imagine, am folosit o soluție salină de 9%.
And I use 9% salinity.
Aceeași concentrație o folosim și în reactoarele pentru gansuri.
The same concentration, we use it also inside the reactors.
Apoi am pus-o în această soluție, am adăugat 60 de mililitri de plasmă de CO2 cu aminoacid și ZNO cu aminoacid, fără ganți.
60 de mililitri?
Da, câte 60-60.
And then inside this salty solution, we pour 60 milliliters of plasmatic solution and amino acid from above the reactor without any gas from the CO2 and ZNO reactors.
Am mai arătat procedeul și cu 2 luni în urmă, cred.
we show this procedure again.
Am lăsat-o 24 de ore, după care am trecut la preparare.
We let it for 24 hours and then we prepare it.
Se păstrează magnific, chiar dacă nu este ținută la frigider.
So the taste, this is maintained very nice without any fridge and low temperatures.
Și asta datorită plasmei.
And this is because of the plasma, of course.
Aici am trecut și la preparare.
And now we are making the food.
Am folosit zerul care a rămas de la brânză.
Zero. Zero.
Ce?
Zero.
Serul care a rămas de la separarea brânzei.
Hai să văd cum se zice. I'm finding a word. One moment, please.
Whey.
Cum? Whey is the liquid milk whey. Okay.
Așa, whey.
Milk whey. Okay. It's this is how it's called. It's correct. Is the liquid that after you drain out the cheese is the liquid that is remaining.
W-H-E-Y, whey.
Yes.
Yeah. Curds and whey is the two separate parts. Yes.
Yes. So you use whey in mixture with corn flour.
Yes. Aici magnific că fiecare din cei care au participat au pus cu mânuța lor, cu sufletul lor, făina pentru preparare.
This is something magnificent that every people that was present was participating with their hands and their souls with the intention and emotion to the food that we all eat.
Firesc, ca de obicei, noi și cântăm, ne distrăm de fapt.
Of course, we are singing, we are having fun, of course.
Am adăugat și brânza.
And then we added the cheese.
Brânza am preparat-o în mod special să se desfacă în particule mici.
So this cheese I made especially for this type of food, so I can very easily open it up.
Practic să nu mai folosesc niciun tip de metal ca să o mărunțesc. Răzătoare.
So to not use any metal to.
Răzătoare
to the cheese.
Okay.
Grater.
Grater, yeah.
Da, pentru a nu folosi răzătoarea, am creat o brânză specială care se desface în particule mici.
So, because I do not want to use grater, I just made the. Adrian are de aici lângă mine. Sorry. I made it the cheese like this, so I can very easily use it inside our meal.
Apoi am pus un strat de brânză, un strat de
And then we put one layer of cheese, one layer of balmush.
Da? Vasul pe care îl vedeți este din lemn, nano-acoperit, lingura la fel, cea din dreapta.
And you see where we put the food is made out of wood that was nano-covered, and also
Care? Lingură, spun.
spoon.
Lingura din dreapta.
You can see the spoon from the right that is nano-covered.
Partea finală.
The final part.
Acompaniată cu smântână este delicioasă.
And the cream from the milk put together is delicious.
Cam atât pentru seara aceasta și mulțumesc pentru împărtășire. Dacă sunt întrebări.
For tonight, if there are any questions.
Ele ar fi mult mai multe pentru că mai sunt de prezentat, dar asta ar însemna să mai stăm câteva ore aici.
There are many presentations that we could do, but then we will have to stay many hours here.
O să revin iar la imaginea cu harta României.
I will come back to the image with the map, Romanian map.
Un moment.
Well, some very good information, Gianni. Thank you very much for sharing all the details.
Very powerful presentation. Beautiful work.
Mulțumim domnului Keshe pentru dăruirea acestei tehnologii.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe, for the gift that he made with this technology.
Tuturor căutătorilor de cunoaștere.
All the knowledge seekers.
Mulțumim, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Prezent.
Always present. Mark.
Și mulțumim tuturor sufletelor din toate dimensiunile implicate în dăruirea acestei cunoașteri.
And thanks all the souls that are present from all the dimensions.
Așa ca istoric, în 5 ani de când aplicăm tehnologia,
like history in 5 years in which we applied the plasmatic technology.
Totul a început aici, aproape de confluența dintre 3 județe, aici.
This is where is all started, where 3 cities are coming together.
E vorba de oaza GG, Petrila.
This is GG Oasis in Petrila.
Apoi următorul experiment a fost în Constanța, în această zonă.
And then the next experiment was in Constanța, in this area, in south.
Aici au fost însămânțate primele hectare cu grâu.
This is the place where the first hectares with plasmatic plowed was seeded.
Și de aici, în continuare, În capitala României,
and next in the capital, Romania,
Iași, Bihor, clar, Timiș, aici, chiar în această zonă, au fost montate 4 domuri.
and of course in Timiș, where was mounted 4 domes in there, into Luminița's garden.
Deci, practic, în 5 ani de activitate de dăruire, este magnific ce s-a întâmplat în aceste zone.
Practically in 5 years, in this area, something magnificent happened.
Am vrut să aduc în discuție acest lucru pentru că aici în Cluj vom construi un centru permanent.
And we would like to add that here in Cluj, we will make a permanent center.
De fapt este deja.
There is already.
Unde cei care doresc pot să ne contacteze oricând.
And the people that want to contact us here anytime.
Să vină să vadă, să simtă, să perceapă cum cresc plântuțele, cum se simt înăuntru.
They can come and feel and see how the plants are feeling and to see inside.
Și pornind de la Târgu Mureș, care este spațiul dăruirii, de fapt, în toate aceste locuri unde am construit domuri, sunt spațiile dăruirii.
And starting from Târgu Mureș, that is a giving place, and all the places, actually, when we build a dome, it's a part of the gifting places.
Dintr-o anumită perspectivă, noi trăim în fiecare zi și în tot ceea ce facem festivalul dăruirii.
Practically, every day we are living the festivity of giving, like a way of life.
Exact. Încă o dată mulțumesc tuturor celor care participă la această dăruire. Thank
you again, all the participants in this giving, and thank you.
Well, amazing. I think we probably should wrap up your presentation for today, Johnny, but amazing, wonderful stuff. Thank you so much for sharing, and we look forward to more sharing next month. It'll be interesting to see the changes of the fields, so to speak, and we look forward to more of your work with farmers that are outstanding in their field, you might say.
Cei care lucrează cu plasma trăiesc altfel, în alt mod. Sunt mai calmi.
The people that are working with plasma, they are a little bit different. They are calmer.
Nu mai au probleme de sănătate.
They do not have any more problems with their health.
Florin, cel din Hemp Farm, este super încântat și el cu întreaga lui familie.
Florin from the hemp farm is very excited, and all his family is very
deci au constatat că nu mai au probleme de sănătate, nu mai obosesc, nu mai e necesar să doarmă cum dormeau înainte.
They realize that they do not have any more health problems. They do not have to eat so much, and they do not have to sleep so much.
Și pentru prima dată, mulți dintre ei spun că acum, da, pentru asta au ales să lucreze în agricultură.
And with this feeling, he's saying yes for this. It's okay to work in agriculture like this.
Dar mai ales într-o situație în care cei care sunt în fermă sunt de fapt o comunitate.
Especially when the people at the farm, they are actually a community.
Nu sunt plătiți în mod obișnuit după ore de muncă.
They are not paid as usual by the hour.
Este o poziționare liberă care este făcută în funcție de activități.
It's a free positioning according to the activities that need to be made.
Nefiind obligat să meargă la fermă dacă nu este necesară vreo activitate.
So he's not obligated to be at the farm if there are no activities.
Acest lucru îți acordă o libertate care te ridică, te înalță.
So this thing is giving you a freedom that is raising you up.
În partea cealaltă, deci aici vorbim de echipa Hemp Farm, Mihaela, Laurențiu, Florin și ceilalți. Le mulțumim pentru împărtășirea lor, pentru dăruirea lor.
Here we are talking about Laurențiu, Mihaela, Florin, and all other peoples, and thank you from the Hemp Farm, and thank you for all your participations.
Despre partea cealaltă, de la ferma din Fărău, Ionel este medic veterinar, dar el iubește animalele, iubește văcuțele.
In the other place, in Fărău, in Alba, Ionel, it's a veterinarian and he loves cows and all the living animals. He's a good veterinarian, doctor.
Și doar 4 oameni se ocupă de o fermă de văcuțe. Sunt cu totul 50 de văcuțe, 30 cu lapte și unele în creștere.
And only 4 people, they manage to keep after looking after 50 cows, that 30 cows are with milk and the rest are in growth.
Dar ceea ce este într-adevăr magnific și mulțumim Ionel și Maria este faptul că lucrează 80 de hectare pentru această fermă de văcuțe.
But what is magnificent, and thank you Ionel and Maria for the thing that they are working 80 hectares of land for this farm.
Și asta face ca din această toamnă văcuțele să mănânce și hrana crescută în mediul plasmatic.
And this is how from the autumn the cows would eat the hay from these plasmatic areas.
Deja într-un an de zile este magnific ce se întâmplă.
Already in 1 year is magnificent what it is happening.
Adică văcuțele nu mai au probleme de sănătate, dau lapte mai mult, mănâncă mai puțin.
I mean, the cows are healthy, they give more milk and they are happy.
Da, și la ce mă refer că consumă mai puțin, suplimentele pe care se dau în mod obișnuit pentru creșterea calității laptelui, a grăsimii lui.
And what I mean by they do not eat so much anymore is the nutrients that were given to cows for the high quality of the milk, they are not necessary anymore.
Mulțumim, Ionel, pentru că s-a oferit să stea la dispoziție tuturor celor care vor să-l contacteze ca să aplice, să facă la fel cum a făcut el.
Thank you, Yunel, because he is putting at the disposal to all the people that want to know how he did his work with the terrain and all the information from his understanding.
Și acesta este modul nostru de lucru, împărtășirea, și au fost de acord din start, de la început.
So he was okay with the manifestation of giving that we proposed to him. So he was very on board with it from the beginning.
Așa că, încă o dată, thank you.
Thank you.
There's a question from Wolfgang in the Q&A. Gianni, what did you mix with the corn flour? Wasn't that the whey?
Yes. Whey and cheese.
Whey, cheese, and corn flour.
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions for Gianni? Okay, well, we offer our thanks and gratitude for sure. And like I said, we look forward to the next sessions where we get more info. There might be other things you want to show in the Keshe Plasma reactor group as well, Gianni. So thank you for giving of your time. Speaking of time, we have to get along here. We've gotten into it 3.5 hours, so we're a bit over our regular show, but that's very good because we've had some great presentations. Hello, Moga, do you have a question? Oh, that's Horatio, sorry.
Sorry.
I thought it was someone else who'd opened their microphone there. Okay. Well, perhaps we should wrap it up, or is there anything else somebody would like to say before we end here? Geez, Mark, we didn't even get to the Brazil testimonies. That's all we had to begin with.
Yeah, very good. Instantaneously, things just got put together.
Yeah,
as we try to get the soul of the testimonial group.
I find the universe provides with the plasma technology, but it's usually just-in-time delivery, so just enough to keep you insecure.
Just a big thank you to everyone, and very beautiful inspiration, Gianni and team. I always want to include the team for all of us. And we'll continue to share this work in different places and different times and different venues.
Thank you, Mark. I am present.
Thank you.
Yeah, the presentation is getting quite smooth, Gianni, and we could almost clip out that section out of this video and republish that as a video on how to grow crops and whatnot. There's a lot of really good information in there.
And win prizes too. I think we heard before about the milk that was a bit sour. I guess this is the veterinarian that owns the cows. And when the plasma technology came in, apparently things started to reverse. And didn't you enter the butter, or was it the milk or was it a cheese? And you said you won a regional acknowledgement or a prize. Wasn't that reported by you, Gianni?
Înțeleg? Zicea că îmi spune tu că o câștiga ceva premiu cu ceva brânză sau lapte care era mai așa și după ce au folosit tehnologia plasmatică câștiga ceva premiu cu el sau ceva de genul.
Nu, n-a câștigat niciun premiu. A ieșit cel mai bun lapte din zona, adică n-au văzut așa de calitatea respectivă.
So the people that were in that area said that there was a very, very tasty milk. They did not taste for a long time, so good milk.
La fel cum a pățit și Vasile, care n-au vrut să-i dea analizele, pentru că era laptele prea de calitate.
The same how a friend Vasile, they do not give them the tests from his milk because they were too great in comparison with other farmers.
Off the chart, so to speak.
Yeah, off the chart, yeah.
Oricum, aici la fermă cu Ionel și Maria s-au decis să scoatem o serie de produse lactate plasmatice.
So here in the farm, Ionel and Maria, they came to the conclusion that they want to make some plasmatic products with cheese.
Sortimente de brânză cu legume, cu condimente.
So you have cheese in mixture with legumes and cheese with what cheese is called?
Condimente.
Condiments.
Legume, chiar și fructe.
Fruits, legumes, and of course, și fum, zis că și cu fum.
Da.
And with smoke cheese.
Da? Și mai ales, datorită plasmei, combinațiile astea se fac mult mai simplu și nu se necesită procesele îndelungate și costisitoare cum se fac în mod obișnuit.
And of course, if you work with plasma, the process are very easy to make and very quick in comparison with the old ways. With many,
ca o comparație, aceste lucruri le-am împărtășit încă de acum 30 de ani, dar fără plasma.
In comparison with our work for 30 years that we make before plasma, ce în comparație? Cum ai zis? Ce vrei să zici?
Față de acum, când durează câteva ore, ca să le obțină înainte, durau minim 3 zile.
Okay, so before using plasma, the same products, it used to take us 3 days to make them at this quality, but by using plasma, all is ready in a couple of hours.
Datorită plasmei, nu mai are importanță dacă laptele este rece sau cald.
Due to the plasma, it's not important if the milk is hot or cold.
Înainte ca să fac brânza, trebuia să mențin laptele undeva la 35 de grade.
At first, before using the plasma, I have to prepare the milk by raising it to up to 36 degrees.
Acum nu mai este necesar să mai utilizez nimic.
And now it's not necessary to maintain the milk at certain temperature. I just use plasma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments before we wrap things up here?
Rick, it's Dean here. Just quickly to Gianni. Gianni, thank you for a beautiful presentation. Gianni, going back to the dome, I know you all the plants that were growing ferociously around the dome. Do you know? Have you sort of got a gauge on how far out those fields are going? How far does that vegetation go? Because it seems to be from the centralized core. All the fields are spreading out outside of the dome. Would there be a reason for this, Gianni?
Gianni, înțeles?
Repet un pic, te rog, aici se aude mai slab, am intensitate, semnal mai slab. Se aude cu întrerupere.
Ok, întrebarea era dacă datorită domului ai observat cumva vegetația că se extinde în jur, în trepte cumva, știi? În funcție de câmpuri.
Întotdeauna se întâmplă așa.
Gianni said this always happening due to the fields that the vegetation is taking different sides.
Și la primul dom, domul dăruirii, câmpurile sunt extinse deja la 2 km.
And at the first dome, the dome of giving, the fields reach up to 2 kilometers in present time.
Pe parcursul acestor 2 km se poate vedea o descreștere începând de la dom către margine.
So in this area of 2 kilometers, you can see a decrease of the heights of the vegetation as you go farther from the center.
Și toate plantele care sunt în apropierea domurilor și a zonelor unde lucrăm cu plasma, de fapt, dimensiunea lor se mărește de fiecare dată.
And all the plants inside the area that we are working with plasma and domes and gases, the vegetation is taking larger sides and looking much better.
Și asta se datorează câmpurilor create, generate, și de aici plantele se simt fericite și își absorb din mediu tot ceea ce le este necesar.
Cum exact?
Plantele sunt fericite, își absorb tot ceea ce le este necesar din mediul creat.
And due to this, the interaction of the field, the plants are happy and they are beginning to grow much faster in equilibrium.
La primul dom a durat aproximativ 3 ani până s-au extins câmpurile la acest nivel.
At the first dome, it took approximately 3 years, so the fields can grow up to this size of 2 kilometers.
Dar acest aspect este întotdeauna în legătură cu cei care folosesc domul.
But this is always in the conjunction with the people that are using the dome.
Și se întâmplă în special la cei care le și pun la dispoziție.
And this is happening still with the people that they are putting at the disposal the dome.
Cumva permițând și celorlalți să experimenteze trăirea într-un dom plasmatic, generează o creștere a intensității câmpurilor.
If you permit other people to feel the fields inside the dome and to experience the environment, the people are participating to the enlargement of the field of the dome.
Și acesta este o consecință a artei dăruirii și dinamicii dăruirii.
This is a consequences of the art of giving in all the places of giving.
Manifestarea plasmei libere.
The manifestation of free plasma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Gianni. So it's very much like the that seed that we see in the hand right now. So from that seed, when that then goes into the plasmatic condition of your mouth, and that goes through the plasmatic condition of your intestines and through your system, that is then spreading out the fields of the soul of this seed, and that then creates that same condition as the vegetation around the dome, and then that spreads out and spreads out. So from micro to macro, it seems to be the same sort of a condition. So yeah, thank you, Gianni. Beautiful presentation. Thank you.
All right.
Mulțumim încă o dată, mulțumesc întregii echipei Plasmei Universale RO, pentru că suntem și este o muncă de echipă.
Thank you, Dean, and I would like to thank all the team members of the plasmatic dimension, because it's a team effort.
As you say, Gianni, thank we. Thank we. Yeah,
thank
wonderful.
Jalal started with thank we.
Jalal started it, yeah. We all carry it on, yeah. Haven't seen Jalal for a little while. Be nice to see Jalal again. Yeah. Come back, Jalal.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for being here today. It's been a very lovely testimonials meeting with lots of great direct testimonials. Thanks to everyone for sharing today. That's the best way to pay back, I think, for receiving the knowledge of the plasma technology, is to simply share it with others so that they can share it with even more others, and soon we'll all be up to speed with it. And it is happening, that's for sure. Okay, well, this has been the 80th public meeting for testimonials here on Monday, July 10th, 2023. And let me see, our next public workshop will be the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice, coming up tomorrow, Tuesday, July 11th. And that starts at the 4 p.m. Central European Time. That'll be with members of the Universal Council, and people are welcome to join in and bring your problems and issues of your area to the Universal Council for solutions on the soul level. All right, I guess that's it for now. We'll go out with the usual Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit music version. Thank you, Mark, for co-hosting today. And again, thank you everybody for being here and for sharing. Bye for now.